Spider-Man, Spider-Man, does whatever a spider can. Yo, what's up, people? Watching Untitled Entertainment. I'm your host, Red. We got your other host over here, Fresh.
Yo, what's up? What's up?
And we got a special guest host, Fresh Prince. Not to be mixed up with Fresh.
Yo, you way better
What's
at
good, everybody?
that shit than me.
Huh?
I said you way better than that shit than me. I hate fucking introing.
Really?
Yeah, I hate the shit. It's so unnatural
Man.
for me. It's unnatural for me. I have to push it. So
man,
I appreciate you today.
Got the. I heard that's how I used to do Zendaya. She's like, ooh. She's like, ooh, I like that. He's like, yeah. Nah, we off track. But yeah, this is our spoiler review / episode.
64.
64, episode 64. It's a spoiler review / episode 64. Of course, it's recorded because tomorrow, well, you're gonna be hearing us today, Friday. I don't confuse myself. Well, today is Thursday, but you're gonna be seeing this on Friday, Christmas Eve. So, and we want to be with our families. So yeah, that's why we're recording it today. So yeah, we're gonna do the spoiler review, and we're gonna get into other stuff that happened this week, like Hawkeye and Matrix. Let's start off with Matrix. Let's start off bad. We're gonna start off bad. Matrix released, and it's not getting rave reviews. It's
not.
I'm hearing it's pretty rotten right now.
Is it Ryan? Is Ryan's score? The
haven't checked it yet.
I could check. Let me check.
I think I checked it earlier, like yesterday. I think it was 60-something%, and it was only been out for a day.
Matrix Resurrection. That's a long title.
Yeah, I believe. Yeah, 60, maybe 70%, maybe
67%.
67.
67% is about to go spoil.
And the audience score is the same almost.
Yup. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's not.
Oh
that's
shit, 67 both.
Yeah. Normally, when you got the audience that kind of like over Trump the critics, but this time around they're like, nah, this is like, it's.
Yeah, it's bad. So pretty soon that tomato's going rotten, and that bucket of popcorn is tilting over. But
yeah, I don't know, man. It was too meta for me. Like it was too much like self-aware to the point where it kind of like discounted the Matrix in general. Like, me being a fan of the Matrix, kind of like watching this, like kind of a disrespect almost a little bit. Like, damn, like this is not like, this is a simulation. It was fake. And like him dying at the end, kind of like that felt discounted as well. And it just felt, I don't know. I don't know. It wasn't good. And it was kind of like slow. Pacing was off. Just, it didn't feel good. And the combat too felt really trash. Like overall, like this, the camera work looked trash. It was too messy. It was like cameras were really close. You really couldn't see like the punches being pulled or punches being thrown. It was just like very quick, and it just felt, I don't know. I didn't like it. How about you, Fresh Prince?
Yeah, almost same exact feelings. Being a diehard Matrix fan. I mean, for most people, the first Matrix was it was more than a movie. It was like an experience. For a while, it was like if you didn't see the Matrix, you almost weren't in on a certain conversation. You know what I'm saying? And it just changed the game in so many different ways. And when you say it was almost too meta, I agree with you. And it's almost like they're telling you, if you're paying attention in the movie, they're telling you like, yeah, reboots are trash. Like, there's no point in doing this. Like, we're just rehashing the same old thing with new characters. And it's like so many different things that, yeah, were context to the movie, but like he said, we're almost meta to the point where it's talking at you. And that is not a good sign of a movie when it's talking at you and you're not getting these themes and motivations yourself like the original. Um, Without going too much into it, yeah, like it just it was too much of a homage to the point. It was like a fan film, pretty much. It was like somebody made a fan film of what they thought the next Matrix should be about and tried to be too smart about it. That's basically what it all boiled down to.
Yeah,
And
the first
yeah,
couple
I
minutes,
mean, I would say watch it if you want, but
the first couple of
go
minutes
ahead,
was
bro.
like the first couple of minutes was like a shot by shot of the first movie.
Shit.
It was a shot by shot, but with just a different actress playing Trinity. So what the hell is going on here? It felt so, and mind you, like the first one was so iconic. The second one was kind of shaky for me. The third one was even like I hated it. Right, it was okay, but it was like didn't really like it too much. It was kind of
Yeah, the
like
second one got shaky near the end. To me, the second one was good. They're like 90% of the way through it, and then when it got to the end, where that dude was just like mansplaining to us,
yeah.
the architect. I was like, yeah, okay. They dropped it. They dropped the ball in the second one.
So we needed like with this movie, we needed something strong, and we didn't get that shit. It almost seems like Warner Brothers wanted to use. I guess they wanted to keep their licenses, the IP licenses for Matrix, and they had to pump out another film. It felt forced.
I just
There's
don't understand.
literally a point in the movie literally a point in the movie, Red, where they're like, "Yeah, Warner Brothers is forcing us to do this right now." Like,
They said that?
literally, bro. Literally, bro. Like, understand, of course, it's in the context of the movie, but understand literally words in dialogue. It's Warner Brothers is forcing us to do this. Da, 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 da. Bro, it's crazy, bro. It's crazy. It's like they're talking about, they have something to say about it, which is what I'm saying about reboots and how bad they are and saturation and all of this stuff. They're talking about it, but the meta context of it, this is exactly what the movie is. What
Damn.
y'all bashing right now, and it's like, damn, like, so I guess she didn't want to do the shit. Like, it's a weird flex, bro. It's a weird flex.
Yeah, I don't know. This was like not needed. This was
Not needed at all.
no. I felt like this. We could have lived our lives without this movie.
You know, cause whenever I had a feeling. I said when I heard the concept of it, I said this sounds like it's gonna be bad, bro. Like,
And go ahead.
and then when I saw the trailer, I said the trailer didn't make it look any better either. I was like, nah, it's not looking good. You know, like I didn't get hyped like the way I should have gotten hyped for the Matrix, because I was a Matrix fan too, and I didn't get hyped. And and then like when I found out it was on HBO Max, I said, okay, cool, I'm gonna watch it. But then I started looking at the reviews, and I'm like, yo, what's going on, man? I didn't even get to watch it yet, because I said if I watch it, I might get put to sleep past the recording of the show. I ain't gonna make it to the show. Because once I sleep through a movie, that's it. I'm out, bro. Like,
Yeah, I don't know, man. And what kind of pissed me off is because they could have brought back Lawrence Fishburne. The way the movie was set up, you could have brought him back. They brought everyone else back. Even fucking Nairobi was back.
you're right. They were all like old, right, or something like that, right?
You could have de-aged him. He's well, I don't want to go into spoilers too much, but like he's a fucking program. He doesn't exist.
What?
That's what I'm saying.
What?
He doesn't exist.
Yo, listen. You don't care about spoilers, right? Here you go.
I don't care.
Basically, Neo creates a program in the simulation. All right. So within the Matrix, he creates another pretty much Matrix design, which is like a video game, which is what we saw as movies. Everybody just thinks is like a trilogy of video games. You know what I'm saying? So it's like he doesn't remember going through all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, he subconsciously did it, or the machines did it to keep him docile. I don't know. But the point is like that's the reality that they're living in now. So it's like it's just a whole bunch of callbacks that everybody's thinking is video games, which is actually from the old movies, and like it's a bunch of nonsense going on, bro. And
They
then
did too much.
and then, yeah, and it's like, so within the game, it's basically like Neo, and I believe he said this too. I believe he said that Neo combined Smith and Morpheus's like consciousnesses or whatever, like as far as programming them into Yaya that we got in this movie, which is like supposed to be like the consciousness of him, but like not really, because it's kind of Smith too. Like it's some weird shit, bro. Like
because
it's like this.
his name was Agent Smith. It was not
Yeah,
Morpheus.
right. In the beginning, yeah. Like it's just nuts, bro.
All right, so yeah, that's been the Matrix review. I don't know. I don't understand how they could drop the
There's
ball.
not even like one thing,
Bro, I just don't understand how they could drop the ball.
all right, at least this was dope.
I don't understand. You're taking Keanu Reeves from a very hot on fire right now from the John Wick property and stuff like that.
100%.
And you choose to drop the ball on this movie. Like, I don't understand it, yo. Y'all really messed up. WB, it's holding L's right now. WB, man, I don't know what's going on with them. They didn't release the Snyder cut. They went with Josh Whedon. Justice League, and Snyder cut was a way better Justice League movie than what they released theatrically, and now the Matrix Resurrections. Yeah, WB, you gotta hold that L. You gotta hold that L, baby.
I think like the only
major L for this one.
And mind you, that's the marquee fucking franchise. Matrix.
Yeah.
Or fucking Harry Potter. Like, I think the Fantastic Beasts is probably the only thing that's holding WB up as far as like making money every 2 years from a release.
Mm-hmm.
And that might get messed up because people mad that they got rid of Johnny. A lot of people protesting that movie.
Yeah, no, I saw the trailer and I'm like, I like Mads. Is it Mads Mikkelsen?
Yeah.
I like him.
I like Mads.
It throws you off because
it felt weird. Yeah, when I saw it, I was like, yeah. When I saw him as I was like, nah. It's not the same effect when seeing Johnny come out as a dude. It was a whole different like, oh yeah, this dude could fuck some shit up. Versus like when I see him doing it, I'm like, yeah, but
his demeanor is different.
So like,
than fucking Johnny Depp. He's more serious type. You know what I mean?
I'm not really into those like that, but I don't know. I might be mistaken. But so does this now mean that like what is it? Grindelwald is like has been like 3 different actors in like all 3 movies now?
No, the first one he was just like posing as a person.
Yeah.
And then reveals himself at the end as Johnny
Depp.
That's
what I'm saying.
No, but this one is like
But that's what I'm saying. So Johnny Depp wasn't in the whole first movie though, right?
No, not really. No. The second one.
So that's what I'm saying. So technically it's been like 3 different actors in all 3 movies, right?
I mean, technically it's been 3 different actors, but in the first one, it's like you can't really say the first actor is Grindelwald because he wasn't presented as that. Like Johnny Depp came out later to reveal himself that it was him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was like a big reveal because no one.
It was a big reveal, yeah. So it wasn't the guy he was pretending to be the whole time. It wasn't like saying, "Oh, that's Grindelwald." You know what I mean?
Yeah, he was like a
right, yeah.
You know what I mean? A part of the, I forgot the name of that faction. I forgot it was. It's like they're like Wizard Police or some shit like that. Wizard Detectives.
Right. Yeah.
I am a little excited to see how this guy does his Dumbledore though.
Jude Law.
Yeah. I'm a little excited. Thank you, because his name slipped my mind. That's why I had to say this guy. I was but yeah, I'm excited to see how he does his Dumbledore. I hope they have a big epic battle scene. I want that. I want to see some epic Dumbledore magic because we got teased that in Order of the Phoenix. Was it Order of the Phoenix when he had the little battle with Voldemort?
Mm-hmm.
We got teased. That battle sequence in Order of the Phoenix, bro, that shit was fire. And he was doing that shit with one hand because he was pushing Harry away because Harry kept trying to get in the way. So I want to see an undistracted Dumbledore magic, bro. I want to see him go off.
Nah, it should be good. It should be good. I mean, they're not. It looks like they kind of like digressing from like the whole book, like not the book, but like what her plan was to have them both like be like partners. But it's like they're supposed to be like sexual partners, but I think they're kind of like moving away from that.
Yeah, thank you. I'm not that we got any issue with that, but it's like I don't think that's needed for the story. Like,
yeah,
the story is doing great without us knowing what because we didn't know throughout the whole Harry Potter that he was gay. So
yeah,
we don't need confirmation. We know he's gay. They didn't have to show it. We just knew he was gay.
I think they just they just said it like I think it was like the last movie that dropped, like the moment the movie before where he died is when they announced that he was gay, and he was like, "What? That doesn't like that didn't make sense." It's like it's kind of like it's like shoehorning that that situation onto him. Like that was not in the book specified.
Right.
I don't know.
So I went to the wizardingworld.com and I officially got myself sorted into a house.
What's up, Hufflepuff?
how you called it?
I feel it. I know you was tight.
Yo,
and you was tight,
bro. I was OD tight. I was like Hufflepuff.
I got Ravenclaw.
At least that sounds cooler than Hufflepuff, man.
I got Ravenclaw. I was tight. I was like, damn, bro.
Everybody goes for Gryffindor, yo. Like everybody was Gryffindor.
Nah, that's what I got.
Or say that one, Gryffindor and Slytherin. That's the two houses that people want, yo.
I got Ravenclaw. I was tight. I was like,
and you can't change, and it will irk to me. You can't change that shit, yo.
Yo, you can't press restart. You said I said you Hufflepuff.
I was so mad, yo. I was like, Hufflepuff. Oh my god. But we got Cedric Diggory. We got Cedric Diggory. We got this guy from the main guy from Fantastic Beasts. He's Hufflepuff. So
yeah. I mean, it's not too bad.
It's not too bad.
It's just it ain't the marquee ones. Not the marquee.
Nah, it's not. It's not the Gryffindor Slytherin big bout. I just wanted to make one of those two houses. I said if it's Gryffindor Slytherin, I'll be good, yo. Nah, it was Hufflepuff.
Oh, it's that Hufflepuff. He's like, what? How did you know?
I definitely would have taken Ravenclaw as a third, bro. But I also got my wand. My wand has a dragon heart or something like that.
I forgot the heart. I forgot the one they gave me, but it was kind of similar to Harry Potter's.
Oh, the phoenix feather in it.
Yeah, it was like similar.
Yeah, so I'm Hufflepuff. My wand is alderwood with a dragon heartstring core. And my Patronus charm is a black stallion.
I mean, on paper, it sounds great.
It sounds pretty cool on paper. Besides the Hufflepuff, the rest of that shit sounds pretty cool, man. But I'm gonna grow into the Hufflepuff, man. I'm gonna accept it, man.
Wasn't Moaning Myrtle Hufflepuff as well?
I think she was. Wasn't Luna Hufflepuff too? Luna.
You got some. I think you got some. You got some people.
I guess. You know. I mean, I'll take it. I'll take Hufflepuff.
Oh man, we'd rather talk about this shit than fucking Matrix.
Yeah. Hawkeye. Do you guys see it? You watched it?
Yes, sir.
Definitely.
All right, so we're gonna talk about that final episode of Hawkeye. I'm gonna say it teeters, bro. Like for me, the finale was a little weak, bro. I expected more.
They did it again.
I expected more
with these fucking Disney Plus fucking shows. Like it feels like the last episode they just can't nail the landing. Like I don't know, man. It felt weird. It felt weird.
I have so many questions.
Go ahead, yo. Speak on your grievances, bro.
My first question this is my first biggest question. So, okay, they revealed the big man in this episode? Yeah, this episode they revealed them.
Within the first 3 seconds.
3 seconds. And I like they did the Hawaiian shirt. They did the callback to the comic book where he wore the Hawaiian shirt.
I had no problems with that.
Yeah. So he shows up. We're skipping a whole lot of stuff, but we're gonna go all over the place. We're gonna talk about the whole show, but I'm skipping to where the end part where he pops up in the final scene to get at Kate's mom. So he's getting at Kate's mom. He rips the car door open. And, Kate distracts him. Where the fuck did they find the time for her to back that car up to charge it enough for him to get hit by the car? Bro, the car was parked along the sidewalk, and the store is behind him. The store is behind him. So for her to hit him with the much force as she did it with the car, she would have had to start the car engine up, which the car engine was never started. He would have to hear the car being backed up completely and then press the gas forward to hit him into the store with that amount of force that she hit him into the store with. First of all, where did she find the time? Because that was real quick too for her to recover from that. Because they were just in an accident. She got hit by another car. And he smashed it, and they ripped the car door open. He was reaching to grab her, and that's what Kate distracted him. And then they had the little tussle, and then she hit him. I said tussle. They had the little tussle. And then, while they were having the little tussle on the sidewalk, the mom hits him with the car into the store. And I'm like, well, where the fuck how? That's impossible to me. That was my biggest BS call of the whole night though. I was like, that's BS. I was like, that's bullshit.
My 13-year-old questioned that moment. It's just to go to show you how bad the writing is in that. Even he stopped and was like, wait, how did she get into the... I'm like, bro, don't even question it, bro. Just keep watching. That shit made no sense whatsoever.
It almost felt like the same people that wrote the last 5 episodes didn't write the 6th episode.
I think so. I think they had a completely different writer for the 6th because this felt off. It felt way off.
Like there's no reason to rush anything when you have a 6-hour fucking time to fucking tell a story. It's 6 hours. There should have been more than enough time to loose up, close, like button shit up. Yo, this shit was just. I did not like this episode at all.
It felt incredibly rushed. But okay, we're gonna go back. We go back to the beginning.
We could dial it back. Go ahead.
We're gonna dial it back to me because I just had to point out that crazy. I wanted to point that out before I lost it in my mind, my train of thought because that car shit was so crazy to me. Like, it was so crazy to me. But okay, so we introduced to the Kingpin, and it's the same Wilson Fisk from Daredevil. They didn't add no extra stuff to him. It's the same Wilson Fisk. They didn't explain how he got out of prison, but I'm pretty sure between the blip and all that stuff, he was able. He's a Kingpin. He makes his way out, man. Whatever. He's not working in his tower. He's working in some back out, one of his business in the back lot or something like that. The mom has dealings with him. She's trying to cut ties to save Kate. I mean, you should have cut ties years ago. I mean, once you stepped up to like murder, sis, it was over. Like how, like
it felt so off brand. Like like if she was being extorted, right?
Mm-hmm.
She makes the money back tenfold, like she said.
Mm-hmm.
He takes the time out to marry somebody or about to marry somebody, and then frame him for killing his own pops.
I'm good. Keep going.
It doesn't make any sense, bro. It was almost like it was too convenient. I don't know, man. It really threw me off. It threw me off.
Yeah, I felt like. Go ahead. Sorry, Fresh Prince. Go ahead. Give your take.
Oh, my fault. Well, just real quick. I'm not even a whole take yet, but just real quick. It's like then you have her, like you said, being extorted by Kingpin. And I've never seen anyone with that much agency sitting across from Kingpin. Like she showed like no type of fear whatsoever. But yet my man Hawkeye through the whole series talking about, oh, you don't want to run into the big guy and this and that. So you got an Avenger scared of this dude, but this regular old Karen up in something don't care about. No, I don't believe it, bro. It was just unbelievable. It almost made me feel like they neutered my dude for a minute. But it's like I ain't even gonna go that far.
I'm gonna chalk it up to like her bravado, to ignorance. Which, I mean, I know it's going to sound still. I'm going to play devil advocate and say she had ignorance to the fact, because, like, only person that realized the danger that the mom was in was Hawkeye. Not even Kate knew the danger that the mom was in, because when Hawkeye heard the recording and he said, "Oh yeah, what your mom just did," he's not going to like that. She's dead. Like, that's basically what, like, you know, that's what Hawkeye was telling Kate, like, your mom is going to die. Like, he's going to kill your mom because he doesn't like that. So I think it's ignorance on the mom part. Maybe that's why she didn't realize like how much danger she was in just saying what you're saying. Even though he was trying to like low key warn her, like, I think you need to just relax a little bit, think about what you're saying. Don't jump to no rash decisions. Like he was low key warning her. You know what I'm saying?
What bothered me, right, was that he sounded like Wilson Fisk, right? He sounded like him. The cadence of his voice.
Mm-hmm.
The writing wasn't him.
Nah,
it wasn't.
Yeah.
But like,
yeah.
What the fuck did he just do right now to him? It's like it didn't.
Yeah.
I don't know. He felt very cartoony.
The only time I felt like he was true Wilson Fisk was the brief moment he had with Echo Maya. And that's before the action took place and stuff. It's the moment when she was told, he was like, "Oh, how are you doing? You know, I care for you," and blah blah blah. You know, he's playing, you know, the master manipulator that he is, manipulating Maya. Like, you know, "Oh, I care for you. You know, we're family." Blah 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 blah. And her saying all the stuff that she was saying, I mean, she used sign language, so there's no way. And her face was like straight, stone cold, whatever. Like, but he read it like, "Oh yeah, she's betraying us." Like, and I said that's Wilson Fisk, because he I felt that was the only true Wilson Fisk Kingpin moment in the whole episode was like when he realized like, yeah, she's gonna betray us. Like she has to be taken care of before she gets started or whatever like that. Other than that, I felt like he should have been saved. Even though I know they teased him in the last episode, and they were going to show him this episode. I felt like he should have been saved. You could have had the conversation between him and the mom. But I felt like his scene should have been very like limited, and he should have been like have a more dedicated season to him. You know what I mean? Like
it should have
he should have had a whole season where you just dealing with Kingpin, like not just him being rushed and dealt with in the last episode. Yeah. You know what I mean?
We didn't need him for a whole episode. He could have been. I would have been happy with just a post-credit scene.
Yeah,
like it could have been a post-credit scene with no dialogue. It could have just been his stature. Oh, boom! And then now you give someone else the time to write him correct. It made no sense. It made no sense.
And then even then, okay, I'm gonna skip back to the end again. I'm sorry, but even then, you have Kate Bishop, rookie, fucking superhero, beat Kingpin by herself. Like, what? This is a dude that Daredevil struggles to fight with. Spider-Man struggles to fight in the comics.
Spider-Man
struggles to fight with
bro.
him.
This is
Hawkeye is rightfully afraid of him when he said, okay, you know, he's not somebody to trifle with. That's why he went through all this lengths to get his wife's watch back, because, you know, to us it's just a watch, but to Wilson Fisk, that's information that he could use to get other stuff. That's a shield watch is big deal stuff for in Wilson Fisk's hand. Like, people don't understand. Like, for us, it's like, oh, this is a watch. Big deal with the watch with the shield logo on the back. But for Wilson Fisk, who knows what he would use that watch for? And you have this girl that just started learning crime fighting like 2 nights ago, maybe within 2 nights ago or something like that from Hawkeye.
Less than a week.
Come and beat Kingpin by herself.
Word.
Get the fuck out of here.
Hand to hand.
That little, if they were going to at least, okay, if you're going to put him in the final fight scene,
True blood.
it at least should have been Hawkeye and her teaming up to beat him. It should have took both of them to beat him, at the very least. It's not a Kate Bishop alone fight. And I mean, yes, it was pretty cool when she used the whole little thing and the callback and all that stuff. But as a comic book fan and knowing what Wilson Fisk is supposed to be, no, that's not the villain you use that for, yo.
No. He could have been the post credit scene, because the one they gave us, I was pissed.
Oh my god.
Post credit scene, Jesus Christ! I'm like, yo,
I can do this
Like,
all
nah, bro.
day.
Nah.
You didn't like that? I was laughing.
I was
cracking
praying.
up.
I was praying for something after that shit too, and nothing. Like, oh man.
You know,
I can do this all day.
You know, it would have been cool. It would have been cool if that
Not.
It could have been cool if that was there, as well as something else to give us.
Yeah, right.
But like, they just left it at that.
Yo, they trolled us hard with that shit, boy. I could do this all day.
It just the episode left you like, you sit here and you fucking invest 6 hours of your time, right? You still feel like shit is unanswered at the end. It's like, all right, then what? So many people fucking disappeared throughout the episode. Like Kate Bishop disappeared. fucking Yelena disappears. Fucking disappeared. Like, yo, what the fuck, bro? And like at the end, all right, cool. He comes over, Kate Bishop, and that's it. Oh, kind of like the head nod, like the nod that she was Mockingbird. That really didn't feel. You didn't feel any weight.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But we called that she was Mockingbird from before. We already knew that, because when we said how cool she was and how understanding she was with everything that was going on, we said, okay, she's been in some shit with him. And then we called it that. We knew she was Mockingbird. We called it.
Yeah, like we knew that, you know, in the comics, you know, Mockingbird does marry Hawkeye. We just didn't know whether or not if they was going to erase Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. because they already had a Mockingbird in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So it looks like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is not canon unless she's just a different Mockingbird.
I mean, we got a new Hawkeye, so.
And they still don't tell you what's gonna happen. Like, yo, was she gonna premiere somewhere else? Like, we don't know. Like, there's nothing. Like, if she's gonna be part of the West Coast Avengers, we don't get no tee up to that.
Bro, like,
I don't know. I feel confused, bro. To be honest,
I felt like the shit was rushed. It felt rushed. It felt like everything was going at a nice pace. And then it's like, okay, somebody hit the fast forward button on episode 6. Like, it was like, I felt like everything was just going rushed. Kingpin didn't need to be. He didn't need to be like heavily featured in this episode. He could have been in the beginning talking to the mom, and then ordering the hits, and then that was it. We didn't need to see Kingpin no more after that. That was the most we should have got out of Kingpin.
Yeah,
ordering the hits, and then that's it.
Yeah, you could have gave us Avengers 1 Thanos end credit scene.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just looking over his shoulder, some shit like that, and we would have lost it. We would have, like, it's from what I was hearing online is that they actually was a different post credit scene that they pulled. There was Kingpin being in the hospital with bandages over his eye because he survived the gunshot. She shot him in the eye.
Yeah.
And they removed it. I don't know how true that is, but
it's in the comics. He was blinded by exactly the same way.
Yeah,
Echo shot him in the head, and he was blinded by it.
Yeah, from the comics.
So that's why I didn't really
see. Even with that, it's like I see what y'all doing. It made no sense to do that. What was the point of that? Like, because all right, let's just say people that don't know, like that part where he gets blinded by her at the end of the day, like people don't know that. What was the point of bringing him back? Like you said, he should have been in the beginning, and that was it. Then you bring him back in the end to basically get beat 1v1 by Kate Bishop, and then he got away, which we all figured. But then Maya catches him in the alley. It was like, how many endings you got for this man, bro? Like, and then you just leave it at that. So for people that don't know, just think he got popped. Like, so a lot of people think you definitely wasted them if they don't really know the comic books like
Yeah.
that. Like
And
that was just a horribly written ending.
and mind you, they're really banking on people knowing who Kingpin is, right? Like people that didn't watch the Netflix shows will look at him like, who the fuck is him?
Yeah.
Like, but people that watch Daredevil, like we have, like, you know, he's, you know, I'm pretty sure they can always get someone else to play Kingpin. I'm not really like stuck on him playing Kingpin, but I got used to him and I felt like he fit the role. And I'm like, yo, they bring him back for that? Big oof. Big oof.
I mean, I like Vincent D'Onofrio as Kingpin. I do. I like him as Kingpin. Y'all just gotta use him better. Y'all used him very poorly in this one. Like, drop the ball, man. We dropped the ball on this one.
Bad.
Yeah. And then I mean, that's okay. We're going. They had the Christmas party. The LARPers was there as the backup. You know,
I erased that part out of my fucking head, and I meant to bring this shit up. That shit was mad fucking corny, bro.
All right.
I mean, the black chick is a cop, man. Like, she is a cop, bro.
I honestly feel the only thing really that saved this episode was Yelena and the Kate Bishop like little friendship fight that they were having. That was funny to me. And and then Yelena and Hawkeye hashing out the thing with Natasha.
Jack.
And Jack, yeah, with the sword master thing, showing off his sword skills.
I don't know, man. Is it the Yelena and the fucking Kate Bishop shit felt like Winter Soldier and Falcon all over again, like that kind of banter. It's like recycled fucking lines. Grill.
I like the fact when sorry to cut you off, Frank, but when in the middle of the fight, there was this shouting, "Stop making me like you!" Yo, I mean, it was recycled, like it's definitely Will Stilton Falcon, but it was still good. It was funny, man. I liked it. But go ahead, finish your point. I'm sorry, bro.
Nah. I don't even want to talk about it, man. That shit was trash. Yeah, your daughter is trolling me right now. Yo, get out of here, bro. She don't listen. Nah, you go ahead, man.
Yeah, so I mean, so Yelena and Kate Bishop thing, I found it cute when she doing like they did the whole pressing the elevator. It was like some like a little sister annoying a big sister kind of thing going on. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like you try to stop your big sister from doing something. And like that's what it looked like. She pressed all the elevator buttons and then she was running and they were fighting. And they said, "Yeah, your outfit in the whole time." And it's like, "Yeah, you did too." And I mean, it was just cute to me. I like that. I like that.
It was cool because I like Yelena. I like her character as a whole because she doesn't seem like she's malicious. She's a quote killer, but she also has like a code.
Yeah.
But even with her like hashing it out with Clint Barton, it was not enough information for her to feel the way she felt at the end. Like, yeah, I tried my best. Lord. You know her. She always wins. Like that's not enough to be like, hey, you lying. Like I'm still gonna be. It was not enough. It was not enough to.
I mean,
it's not enough.
Yeah, I'm trying. Yo, stop! You're making me laugh, bro.
It's not enough. It's not enough to persuade a woman.
It definitely. I felt like it wasn't enough. I did feel, even though I did like the scene. They did the callback to the Black Widow with the whistle and all that stuff, and I didn't like.
So trash, bro. That whistle saved his life. How do you know this? Like it's just, oh my god.
Yeah, I
but even if he knew the whistle, that still don't mean he didn't kill him.
I'm trying, but Fresh is like shitting all over my points right now. I'm trying to save.
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry.
I'm trying to save the episode in some way, but Fresh is just shit all over the points.
I'm trying to because I'm replaying the shits over, and I'm like, nah, that's not enough. Because when I watched it, I was cool. I was not screw face. I was like, all right, cool, that's what's up. But now that we talking about it, I'm like, yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Like that's not enough information to sway someone to think that you didn't kill her sister. It was not enough information. It was just like a shoehorn fucking conversation.
But I do believe deep down inside, she knows damn well that Hawkeye didn't kill her sister, bro. Like,
yeah, I don't know. To be honest,
it's especially as I mean, because mind you, it was two conversations. It's not only the Hawkeye conversation. She did have the better conversation with Kate Bishop when they did a well wrote out dialogue between both of them, and like, you know, she's basically telling her how Hawkeye is, you know, his personality and whatever like that. Again, I understand, giving her understanding of how he is, you know what I'm saying, like that. Even though Kate Bishop is looking through hero goggle eyes, you know, she sees Hawkeye's a hero, so she's gonna, you know, talk him up really great. But I felt like it's the combination of Kate Bishop conversation and then with him, you know, and he's not really fighting her. It's not like he's fighting her back, like saying that, like, yo, you know, punching her, pushing her down. He's basically letting her get all her anger out by letting her beat him up and saying, like, yo, you know, I'm upset too, like I'm hurting too, blah blah blah. You know, I lost her too. She sacrificed herself. It was her choice. You know. You ever, and then you asked her, like, you ever get to stop not when she made her mind from doing something, and she was like, nah. She basically said, no, I couldn't stop. You know, you can't stop her when she make her mind up. So
yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it's tough, bro. Like you watch your best friend like plummet to her death, yo. That shit eats away at you, bro. Like you, especially when you was trying to take your own life, and then she ended up like to save your life. She took her own life to save yours, so you could be with your family.
Yeah, because he's the one that had a whole family. She had.
But he didn't even know. In his head, his family was dead, bro. When he was about to sacrifice himself, in his head, his family was dead. So he's like, yo, if I kill myself, I'm going to be back with my family in his head. You know what I mean? He's like, in his head, he's like, if I kill myself, I'm going to go back to the family. They get the stone. But I think deep down inside, Nat knew like her family, the family wasn't dead. Like, bro, you got to stay alive to see your family when you come back. And yo, Endgame just got a little deeper for me now, bro. Like, just talking about this shit. It's like, you know, like, let me get my train of thought back. But she's like, yo, you know, she knew his family was going to come back. See, I think deep down inside, she knew everything was going to be fixed. And then, like, for him not to be there for the wife and the kids when they get back, you know, it's going to be fucked up. And she didn't have in her head, like, I don't really have a family. I only have Yelena. I can do this. I can save my best friend and his family by doing this, sacrificing my life. And she chose, and that's what she chose.
And she probably knew Yelena got blipped too.
Oh yeah, you're right. She probably did, because they did have a record of all the people that got blipped.
Yeah.
Yep. And you know, she was the one pretty much in charge and running everything while everybody was doing whatever. So she had to know her sister got blipped too. So yeah, it was for everybody, bro.
Bro.
It was bad. It was bad news for everybody.
Yeah.
It was bad. It was all around bad with this episode.
I'm yo, I can't friend. I just hope they got to do a season 2 and redeem this shit. Like, they got to fix this shit somehow.
Yeah, like what's next for Kingpin? What is next?
Well,
like,
I'm guessing the Echo series. He's gonna be probably the main.
Gotta be there.
It has to be Echo, yeah. Unless she's gonna be unless she's relocating somewhere else because now she's on the run. So she's probably gonna go to the West Coast or some shit like that and start that West Coast Avengers shit. Who fucking knows? We don't know because there was no post credit scene. We just gotta fucking get Hamilton instead.
Rogers the musical. I can do this all day.
The only shit that makes me laugh is when Ant-Man is fucking thrusting himself. He's like, whoa, why are we thrusting in a second? Like, you was not even at the fucking Battle of New York.
But you know what's funny? Like, with Ant-Man was supposed to be in the movie. Like, he was supposed to be in the movie, the first Avengers. It's just that they were like behind with filming Ant-Man, so he got cut out. But technically, he was supposed to be in that first movie.
I think he was supposed to be in Age of Ultron because I think he was supposed to be the person that was going to help Tony make Ultron, but they couldn't get their shit together. And Hank Pym, and then the person the person that got Hank Pym was real old. It's like, how can he? Because he's not going to be the Batman. And they got Paul Rudd and whatever. I don't know, man. But this episode, man, if I was to rate this episode, it would definitely be it'll be a shaky 3, almost 2.5, a shaky.
Nah, I'm not saying I wasn't unentertained. I mean, but
no, okay. As far as take away the entertainment part, as far as story, plot point, and like story progression, rate it as that. Like story progression.
It's bad. I had it as a 3. I had it as a 3 too. I'm not gonna lie. It was a 3 in my head too, but I won't put it as a 2. And I was like,
it's a shaky 3. It's a shaky. It was a shaky 3.
It was.
Is there?
You know, I mean, it was bad. I was not when I was watching the whole episode. I was okay. I said this is at a 4, 3.54, and then when I saw the car hit Kingpin, I said, yeah, this is a 3. I was like, that made it a 3 right there. The car hit Kingpin out of nowhere, bro. Like, come on, bro.
I believe we gave every episode a 4.5. A 4.5.
We gave a lot of 5s this episode.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about right now. Like,
who's giving up the coochie every episode, bro? This one? Come on, dude.
Yo, I don't know how they dropped the ball that bad, bro. Like, it's crazy.
When you write a show, right? I'm thinking, right, as a writer, you think about the beginning, the middle, and the end, right? Like, all right, so how this shit is going to end? You have all that time to create this ending, to make it great. And you fucking had... The shit was a rock star every episode. It was fucking great. It was good. It was good TV.
Okay, I got one good thing.
Go ahead, speak on it.
The arrow skills in the middle of the Rockefeller Center thing, shooting the track when they were shooting the arrows at the Tracksuit Mafia. That was pretty cool. All the trick arrows and stuff.
Oh, she was definitely killing people.
Oh yeah, a lot of people died. Mm-hmm.
They fucking shrank people. Fucking owl fucking took it away.
Word.
Owl bird, whatever.
But then I got one more bullshit.
See
how the hell? I just thought about it now. Right? I gave it a point, and then I said, okay, one more bullshit. How the hell the ice didn't crack when he shot the explosive arrow on the ice, yo?
Who fucking knows, man? This is
that's a full explosion on ice, bro. That arrow,
yeah, it was so bad for me, right? For one, right? This episode was so bad, just that point, because I had a theory that we're gonna get into the whole Spider-Man talk, but the end of the Spider-Man, they show him kind of like in the same vicinity, right? So I thought that maybe we're gonna get a Spider-Man cameo. The whole time watching, I was like, please, no. I don't want Spider-Man in this bit. I was like, no.
Don't put Spider-Man in this. No. I'm sorry. Don't do it.
Once I saw the tree go down, I'm like, he's definitely not in this bitch. Thank God. Like, no. I can't. This is all bad.
Where the hell you get an owl in New York City in a tree, bro? An owl in a tree in New York City? We don't have no owls in New York City with the hoo. I never heard a hoo in my life, bro.
I don't think I ever seen an owl like in person in my life. I don't think I ever seen an owl. All of them just TV. It'd
have been more realistic if they had some pigeons swoop down and grab the truck.
Word.
Have a pigeon just pecking at the truck like.
But you know what made it funny? I was saying there like, oh come on, really? When they were saying they're making the arrows, I'm like, they're not doing nothing. There's a whole bunch of soldering doing nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, this shit is. They're like pretending. And back to the LARPers, man. He's like, should we like change outfits or some shit like that?
What the hell did I have to do? That was the biggest waste of time in my bro.
Yo, Grills was like one of my favorite characters. First episode,
and then he just busted up with this last episode.
And he became like he was like a fucking. He was credited as. I mean, come on, dude. And I'm sitting here thinking like, where are the fucking cops,
bro? Oh my god, yo, on Rockefeller, I
Word.
say yo, all this going on Rockefeller
Word.
Center, and no cops has come.
Word.
Not even Foot Patrol has gotten there yet, bro.
This
Oh,
cops being crazy now. Just there.
You saw the Tracksuit Mafia reaching there before the cops get there. Mad backup for Tracksuit Mafia was showing up before the police. I say, yo, this is crazy, bro. Like, I guess people who don't know New York City would think, okay, maybe this will happen. No, Rockefeller Center is one of the most protected areas in New York City, bro. There is mad police. You just turn look right, there's a cop. You turn look left, there's more cops. Everywhere you look around there is cops, bro.
Bro, they literally on the Ave, right at the corner, bro. Like, nah, cuz. What are you talking about? Right,
you can't drop anybody off in a car double parked without being harassed.
Bro, facts.
You can't even do shit. Like, it's so fucking weird. But I was hoping, I was like, where's the cops? So you can stop this shit already. Like, yo.
That's the first time somebody said, I'm already asked for where the cops in New York City. Yo, where the cops at?
It's going on for too long. And I'm like, yo, they having conversations on the rink while like Tracksuit is out in the outskirts shooting at them. Like, yo, when did they have time to have a conversation?
They didn't even take cover, bro. They were shooting at them. They were in the open.
How many times he said, yo, we need to get out of this because we are in the open? The whole fucking segment was them being in the fucking center.
Mm-hmm.
They never got out of it.
The whole end of that episode.
Yo, bro.
They fucking Game of Thrones and shit, bro.
Bro. Oh.
And I'm thinking, like, maybe I should take that back. Maybe, like, the other shows weren't that weak. I'm thinking about Falcon Winter Soldier. I'm like, nah, that last episode was pretty solid.
Yeah, it was real good. It was a real good.
WandaVision was pretty solid.
It started off shaky, but yeah, it was solid. It got solid then.
So I'm thinking, who else? What other shows we had? Loki, that was pretty solid.
Loki.
All the way through.
So I think this is the only one that was pretty weak. And you had the most, like, big cameo.
You had the cheat code right there.
Yeah, you had a fucking cheat code, bro. You brought somebody back that motherfuckers petitioned for 2 years to bring them back.
Mm-hmm.
There
was a change.org to bring the motherfuckers back. Yo, Spider-Man, going into Spider-Man, we're gonna get into this. Had one character for like 3 seconds and it was iconic.
And they lost their shit.
Iconic.
My theater lost their shit.
So
Word.
I mean, we what about you? So,
Red, yeah, sorry, Fresh, we didn't even get your rating yet. We gotta get your.
Nah, so
no,
yeah, because we're gonna go into rating, so we can go right into the shit.
Yeah, I ain't even gonna take too long. Like basically, I'm gonna be honest. Like, I was running through the episode and I was at a 4 for a minute. Like, I'm digging this. I was laughing, even the shit that don't make no sense. I was laughing. I was going with it. I was engaged, entertained, and then we got to the skating rink, and like you said, after a little while being there, started to like get pulled out. Like, yo, what's really going on right now? And then the moms and Kingpin, and then it just kept going downhill for me, bro. So yeah, I just give it a 3 to be nice about it right now, so we can move along. Cause yeah, they majorly disappointed me with that shit.
All right, so threes all the way,
all
man.
Around. And arresting your mom on Christmas Day. You really gonna arrest your mom on Christmas? I said, really, that's the line they choose for her to go out with. You really gonna arrest your mom on Christmas? They could have written a better. You really gonna arrest your mom on Christmas Day? I love you, Mom. Mom didn't say it back. Mom didn't even say it back.
Well, fuck you, Kate.
I almost forgot about that part. You know?
The best line you could fucking say, right? That was the best thing, right? Like, yo, bro, you just killed somebody. You framed somebody. Yeah, you
frame somebody else, yo. You really gonna arrest your mom on Christmas? I love you, Mom. Mom didn't say nothing. She's like, yo, just take me away. Get this bitch out my sight.
Word.
Hold on. To go back to that, they never really explained how the father died.
Oh,
we just assumed that he died in the 2020, but I think he got bodied from Kingpin. The way they made it feel like.
I think it was.
I knew she killed him.
It was in New York shit. It was the alien attack killed him. Because they say he was in the office, that office that she went into, it was blown up, and it had a big hole. He was in that office. So I'm gonna go with they would have said it was something else that happened. They would have said it. So I think it's the alien attack that killed him, and then she just ended up taking his debt. So that's why she had to work for Kingpin.
Well,
yeah, you're right.
Sell the ship, Brad. What we off to
All
next?
right, so we're off to Spider-Man No Way Home. I hope you guys seen it. This is a spoiler talk. We're going to go heavy on the spoilers in this. So if you have not seen Spider-Man No Way Home, you may want to stop it here because this is the last thing we're going to talk about. So the show is basically over after this. So if you have not seen the movie, pause it, watch it, and then come back to us and I'll hear our review and I'll talk and I'll take on the movie. But yeah, so we're going to talk about Spider-Man No Way Home spoiler review. And go. Spider-Man No Way Home was awesome. Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield. I warned y'all. So if y'all didn't kick off.
The worst best kept secret, bro.
The worst best.
Word.
I just wanted to say those names, but we're going to start from the beginning. So this movie left off right after the ending of Far From Home. Takes place right after it. There's no time jump. There's no time away. Peter don't have no time to like catch his breath. Automatically, it jumps off. His face is revealed to the public. They all know who he is, and now he has consequences to deal with the actions that happened in London. And basically, his first action was to, get MJ out of there because the mob started attacking MJ, who we find out in this in this movie, her name is Michelle Jones.
Michelle Jones Watson.
Michelle Jones Watson. So it's not Mary Jane Watson. It's Michelle Jones Watson. Watson. So he had to get her out of there. That was another funny take with it itself because the web swinging and like they stopped at the bridge that Tobey Maguire had to fight with Green Goblin with in the first Spider-Man movie, and the tram that the Spider-Man, the people that was in the tram calling him out was the tramway that Spider-Man saved in that movie that had the kids falling down and he had to grab it and suspend from the bridge and stuff like that. So that's
a nice callback.
That was a nice little callback right there to that. But yeah, he's on the phone with Ned, and they're like, dude. And MJ's like, dude. Realized at the top of the bridge that she's about to fall.
he's so relaxed on being there in that position where he has the best balance.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, dude, like I'm not really up here all the time. Like I'm not,
bro. Not only that, but like the wind was gusty. You saw the wind blowing, and she was like just trying to battle. Yeah. If you don't know, if you know high up structure, the higher you're up, there's high winds up there, so you could get blown off. Like, and Spider-Man sticks to stuff, so that's why he's not getting blown anywhere. His feet and hands make him stick to surfaces, so you don't have to worry about that. But she's over there trying to keep her balance. Like, all right, so they rush MJ home, and this is where the chaos takes place. So I don't know. Should I talk it all the way through, or are we just gonna talk about?
I mean, it's up to you. I mean, we could go play by play.
I'm just gonna brief. We're gonna do what do you call it? Brief notes, cliff notes. So basically, he gets back home to May. And Happy, they're talking about a plan for what happened. Bricks are flying in through the house windows and stuff like that. People are swarming his house. It gets crazy. The Aunt May's suffering repercussions from her house she's being harassed.
And the city, and also to add to that, the city is like divided. There's some people that support him, and there's some people that hate him.
Yeah. So the city's divided against him. So basically, the effects are made because her house is being attacked now. They're throwing bricks and stuff at the window. There's legal troubles. They all get arrested. Even Ned and MJ get arrested and arrested for questioning. Ned and MJ doesn't make it into MIT because of Peter, because they're friends with Peter. So basically, his friends and family life got pretty messed up because of this whole situation that happened, and that's what led him to want to seek out Doctor Strange to fix it. Doctor Strange to say I could do a forgetting spell, and he said, "Okay, cool, do this forgetting spell." So he was gonna make it where everybody forgets. It was gonna be simple. Everybody just forgets Spider-Man real identity, so nobody will know that Peter Parker and Spider-Man is one and the same. They'll just know there's a Peter Parker and there's a Spider-Man, but they won't know that the two are the same.
And to add to that, before that even happened, we find out that because Doctor Strange got blipped, he was no longer the Sorcerer Supreme. It was Wong, which I thought was fucking awesome.
Sorry, I cliff notes.
No. That's what I'm here for. That's what we're here for.
But no. I also cliff notes past a special reveal. While that chaos was happening, Peter had to get a lawyer, and we all know who the lawyer was. Well, you should know who the lawyer was.
Matt Murdock.
And yes, my boy Charlie Cox is officially canon in the MCU. He appeared as Matt Murdock, and the brick flew through the window, and he caught the brick before Peter could catch it.
They were both quick. They both had the same reaction. He caught it like it was first.
Yeah.
But that's what they did right. He didn't have a lot of lines. Yep. You could tell he was written like the way he spoke.
Because even Spider-Man was shocked. Spider-Man looked at him and said, "Yo, how did you do that?" And he said, "I'm a really good lawyer."
Perfect.
Yeah, so I'm thinking like maybe during the blip is where he, a lot of heroes kind of like disappeared in the neighborhood, and he was able to step up. Kingpin lost all his shit.
Yeah,
that's why kind of like I guess that's they're gonna kind of weave him into the MCU because he thrived in those 5 years.
I definitely hope he gets his own MCU series. If not MCU series, I hope he get a movie. Like I hope he gets something. Like Charlie Cox is over. He's a really good Daredevil, and I want for this whatever season they come up with, keep him in the damn Daredevil costume, please. Don't make him go back to the black cloth shit. Like, yes, it's cool. You did it. We did it 2 times already. We don't need him going back to the black bandage Daredevil costume. Keep him in the red suit. We want the devil suit, please.
I heard Feige wants the yellow one.
Huh?
I heard Feige wants to go with the yellow. I heard Feige wants
put him in the yellow. I'm with it. I just want him in the devil costume. I don't want him. I don't want him fighting in that black cloth shit no more. Yo, I'm done. I'm done with that shit. We got it in season 1 and season 2 or 3? Was it season 3? Was it 2 seasons or 3 seasons of Daredevil? I can't remember right now.
3.
3.
3.
So we got it in season 1 and season 3 or something. The black cloth outfit. Yeah, I'm done. I'm done with it.
The black cloth was season 1. Yeah,
I'm done with it. Okay, so now that we dropped that,
Wong Sorcerer Supreme.
Wong is Sorcerer Supreme. So that's why in the trailers where he's telling Strange, don't do that spell, because Doctor Strange is definitely working for Wong. Wong is the boss now.
And it's crazy how how the trailers did a misdirect when he said, "Don't do that spell," but then when you watch the movie, he doesn't say that. He goes, "Just leave me out of it."
And I love that they did that, because I love when they switch up shit from the trailers, because then I don't feel like shit is spoiled for me when I saw the when I watch the trailers and stuff. They change shit around. I like that. I love when they do shit like that. Mm-hmm. Keep that up, please. Change shit around. Because after Wong understanding what Peter's going through in the situation, hearing it, Wong accepts that the spell should be done, but he just don't want to take no part in it. So that's basically it. So Wong agrees, okay, do the spell, just leave me out of it. I'm done. Wong is out of it. So Doctor Strange takes him to the little creepy dungeon where they shot the episode of The Equalizer. And then he's doing the spell. And in true Spider-Man fashion, because if you don't know who Spider-Man is a fuck up. He's a guy he messes up. He messes up everything. Let's put it at that.
I'm kid, yeah.
Peter gonna Peter. That's basically what it is. So he doesn't keep his mouth shut through the spell. He keep making addition. He said, "Oh, Mary Jane should know." So then Doctor Strange makes the exception for Mary Jane, and then you see another line pop up. Because as he's doing the spell, you see line. There was a main line. And then when he asked for Mary Jane, another line pop up to change the spell. Then he asked for Ned, another line pop up. And then he said, "Okay, what about my Aunt May?" And they said, "Okay, another line." So then as he's talking, the spell is getting messed up because Doctor Strange is not able to focus. And he said, basically, everybody should know who already knows what Spider-Man should know messes up the spell. So now the spell changed to everybody who knows who's Spider-Man should basically know, whatever. Boom, the spell goes out of control. Doctor Strange contains it, and he thinks everything is cool. Finds out Peter didn't even handle business the regular way before he came to him. Peter just jumped from like the nuclear option. He didn't go to like deal with his problems the regular way. Like, oh hey, my friends didn't make it to school. Let me go talk to the admissions. Let me go deal with my legal issues the regular way. Blah blah blah. No, I'm gonna go the nuclear option. So Doctor Strange gets mad, kicks him out, and Peter's back out in the street to deal with whatever he's gonna do with. And then this is where all the chaos takes place, where we get the reveal of Doc Ock, William Dafoe's Green Goblin, and all the rest of the villains that you all know about. Because y'all seen the trailers. Y'all know what villains pop up. They didn't change it.
Yeah, that scene was iconic in the theaters, bro. Even though half the shit you saw in the trailers, you would think that no one ever seen those scenes before.
Yeah,
we're reacting.
Technically, we didn't, because if you really look at it, they only showed us like a little glimpse of the freeway fight between Doc Ock and Peter, but there was a lot of shit going on in that freeway in that fight between them.
Yeah.
It was a lot. It was a lot of shit. So basically, the fight happens because Peter finds the admission person, and she's in the car. That's why in the trailer you see Peter in the suit outside the car window of a black lady. That's the admission person in the trailer that you see. He's talking to try to argue the case for his friends to go for him and his friends to go into MIT. And then Doc Ock happens, and her driver bails. Whoop, left her in the car. So her car doors are locked. She can't unlock the car door.
Oh, bro, that's this shit. I don't get paid enough for this shit.
Yeah, her car doors are locked, and she's like, "Hey!" like a true, like, "Hey!" She was taking the shit out of the car doors.
Hell yeah!
So Spider-Man is over there fighting Doc Ock. He's trying to save people in the process because there's still people running across the bridge, and there's people in cars. Like Doc Ock is vicious. He's picking up cars and throwing it. And people are still in these cars, yo. And Spider-Man's either having to like dodge a car that's empty or save people that's in the car before it crashes. And it was insane. It was insane.
Yeah, it was bugged out. It was a great scene.
It was a great scene. I felt like the action was really well done. And I like how they kept the tentacles in play. Like you see that Spider-Man was still, but you saw the inexperience of him too. Like, and like when Tobey Maguire fought Doc Ock, he was more of experience as Spider-Man dealing with damage and stuff like that. So he was able to like dodge a little better, and then he became more familiar as you see in the movie him fighting Doc Ock. But when you see the way Tom Holland fights him in this one, you can tell that he has no experience dealing with Doc Ock. He is struggling. he is struggling. You know, like he's trying his best to save people. And then they see the admissions lady is like in the car is about to fall off the bridge now, and she's like, "Peter!"
He's calling this nigga now, right?
She's calling him like, hey, over here.
Oh, we cool now, huh? All right.
Yeah.
But I thought it was cool, man, with the tentacles and him like hijacking the tentacles.
Oh yeah, because so I forgot to say he's using the nanotech Stark suit. I didn't even know his suit was nanotech. I forgot it was I didn't know he had that. I thought he just had a regular armor suit. I didn't know it was nanotech. But apparently Peter has a nanotech Stark suit, spider suit that he's using when he's fighting Doc Ock. And the nanotech went to his tentacles, and Doc Ock thinking, hey, I just took your nanotech. Thank you very much, blah blah blah. And Peter's like, no, wrong. You thought.
He was like, this shit, like,
new device.
He took control of Doc Ock's nanotech, because he's the main source of the nanotech. So his armor was able to take over the Doc Ock's arms, and basically that's how Doc Ock got beat. He saved the lady with Doc Ock. He even saved the lady with Doc Ock's tentacles. Saved the lady in the car with his tentacles. And then he got into school because he saved her life. She said, "I'm gonna write a board. I'm gonna write the board. You guys, I'm going to the school. You, Ned." And he was like, "Nah, I'm just I just did it for Ned and MJ." So he wasn't even doing it for himself. Even though I earlier I said he did it, he was doing it for all three of them. He wasn't. I take that back. He was doing it mainly for Ned and MJ. He didn't even care if he didn't get into school. He didn't want his friends to suffer to not get into school just for being his friends. Mm-hmm. So because he saved the lady's life, and he showed so much selflessness in that situation, she chose to add him into it too. Like, yo, I'm gonna make sure you get into the school too, or whatever like that. So he gets into the school, everything's all good, everybody's happy. The next you hear the infamous and then Green Goblin pops up. And we thought, I'm thinking, oh, we about to get introduced to another fight. Psych.
Right.
Doctor Strange jump in. But I feel like I'm going on. So what's your guys' thought about the movie so far?
Well, I was just gonna slide in at your ending right there, because to me, I don't know if y'all noticed or paid attention to it, but that like portal wipe to get them off the bridge without actually showing the circle, like that was a dope transition for me though. Like before they realized where they was even at, you know what I'm saying? That was a dope transition.
Yeah, that was smooth.
The fact that when you saw Doctor Strange, he looked like he got fucked up, and so he's the one that captured the lizard. So look, the lizard fucking him up. I wish I saw that. I was like, damn.
Yeah, man, how y'all do that off camera?
Yeah, I really feel like we should have seen that fight.
It looked like he was getting mopped.
Cause he was a little dingy looking, and I think he had like a mark on his face or two or something like that.
Yeah, 2 cuts.
Yeah,
cuts. Yeah. I mean, yo,
to be honest, I didn't even think Lindsay would ever get a hit in on Doctor Strange. Yeah, I thought Doctor Strange would have bodied him.
He snuck up on him.
You fought Thanos, bro. Like, what's going on, Doc? You was giving Thanos the business for a little bit in Infinity War, yo.
That is true. I mean, yo, in a nutshell, man, this movie was everything that I wanted and more. I know that sounds mad cliche to say, but
yeah,
sometimes you go into a movie, you feel like when you overhype something, because this movie it's been hyped for very long, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it could have went so many different ways. It could have been really bad. Like we could have got no Andrew, no fucking Toby. It could have been just 3 different Peters, 3 different Tom Hollands, right?
Word.
We didn't get that, and it was just. I was at the whole time. I'm sitting there with my fucking. I'm smiling the whole entire movie. Like there's nothing. Like this movie for me was perfect. I mean, there was some issues where I had, but those issues were trumped by everything else. Like Electro not knowing Peter's identity. That was nothing. That little negative didn't sway how I felt about the movie. The movie was fucking amazing, bro. It just
So yeah, they saying the theory behind that was like that Electro
overheard.
may have known that Spider-Man is Peter Parker, even though he doesn't know who Peter Parker look like. You know what I mean?
Well, they in the movie, he gets knocked out, and both Andrew, or well, Peter and Gwen is having a conversation, and he's telling her that you need to go inside to overload whatever, and she goes Peter, and then when she says Peter, Electro's eyes opens up.
So that's it.
So maybe that.
That's definitely it. That got to be it.
So I'm not sure because I'm like, did he even meet Peter?
He did it because in the movie later on they discuss how when he first sees what Peter actually looks like, his Peter from his universe, he was they threw in the reference for the Miles Morales. They said, I already thought Spider-Man would be a black guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We lost BK again.
I like it. Oh.
Are you good, bro? Oh boy, here we go.
Nah, let's keep going.
Huh?
Let's just keep going. He jumps in.
Yeah. So my thing is what was it? Yeah. So Electro meets Andrew Garfield's Peter Parker officially, like without the mask, after he's cured of his little whatever thing, and they had a conversation saying that, oh, I thought you would have been black, or you know what I'm saying, like that. It doesn't mean so. I mean, in there he didn't say, oh, hey, I'm Peter Parker or something like that. It's like I think he already knew his name. He just didn't know what he looked like under the mask. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You know what? To be honest, man. I mean, having Electro coming back was pretty dope to see. But I feel like we didn't need him.
Yo, you being mean.
Nah. I feel like we could have went with a different villain. We could have went with the Green Goblin from the Amazing Spider-Man.
It's too many goblins.
But then you would have two goblins, and you would have two goblins for two different universes, and like, oh, you're my son, and the other, like, have that chemistry, like, so you're my son in the universe, and you're my dad from the universe. That would have been super crazy to see, versus having Electro, because Electro is dope, but like, you could have had someone else. It could have been two villains from Toby's side and two villains from the Amazing Spider-Man, versus 3 and 1, 3 and 2. 3 and 2?
I don't know. But I think Electro was there partially because it'd have been the CG effects would have been cool. Plus, also I think it's more like a redemption for the character because he was the blue Electro was so disliked, and the way they redid him in this one is like, yeah, this is an Electro I wish we could have seen in the first Spider-Man and the Amazing Spider-Man 2. You know what I mean? This is the Electro that we should have got. Then the Electro that we saw cowering and like the little sad, what's going on? Like I don't know. I feel like this movie was a redemption for a lot of the failures of the previous Spider-Man movies and stuff. Like this movie, the whole theme of this movie is failure, yo. Like there's a lot of failure going on in this movie, bro. Like
my thing is like, how does the storyline now progress if you done saved all these villains to be good? Like,
I mean, we're jumping the gun. We jumped to the ending. Though. We're jumping to the ending. We didn't really talk about basically finding out Doctor Strange find out that all the villains leaked into the universe for people who haven't catching it. The villains leaked in because Peter Spell said anyone who knows it's Peter Parker, should knows I'm Spider-Man should still know. So that's what attracted people who knows he's Peter Parker and Spider-Man is one and the same into the universe. That's why Fresh has an issue with the Electro being there because everybody's like, oh, but they felt like he didn't know who Peter Parker was, so he shouldn't have been in the movie. A lot of people share that sentiment with you. And then we find out Ned is a wizard.
I think Ned they tried to write a line into it though.
Huh? What you said, Fresh?
I said I think they tried to write a line to try to explain it away in the movie. They were basically saying like when Electro was talking about when they were in Strange's basement and they were talking about what happened right before they died or what happened right before they got over here, whatever the case may be. He said he was to the generator and he was absorbing data. So he didn't say, "Oh, I was absorbing electricity or energy." He said, "I was absorbing data." So he could have been searching to try to find out what his real identity was before he ended up dying or getting zapped over here, whatever the case may be. That's how I took it. To me, you can explain it with that, but
okay. So what leads to the conflict now with the movie that what Fresh is getting at is Doctor Strange is like they get all the villains that popped in from the other universes, which is Sandman, Electro, Green Goblin, Dr. Octopus, and Lizard. Am I missing anyone? No, I'm not missing anyone. I think that's everybody. It was like 5 of them.
Disorder.
Who I'm missing?
You see Sandman?
The end credit scene.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, he said all of them except for the end credit scene. Who never showed up to the fight?
He never showed up to the fight at all. Yeah, Venom was there. But he made it there. I think they just did it there so they could leave a symbiote suit in that universe. So yeah, basically they're there, and Doctor Strange's like, okay, send them back. Then they found out. So basically, while they were all having a discussion that we were just talking about, sorry, my mind is all over the place. They were having a discussion that they were all talking about.
The movie is 2 hours and 40 minutes, 2 hours and 30 minutes.
Yeah, and everything is jumping back into my mind as I'm talking about it. So they were having a discussion of what happened to them before they blipped, and they realized they all blipped just before they were about to die, or whatever like that. So upon finding that out, Peter's Aunt May taught them like, oh, you can't let those guys die, whatever, Peter was being cold about it. He's like, it's not my problem, like I got big shit to deal with. Like the whole world know who I am. I'm trying to get into school. Like at first he was being very cold, but then his Aunt May talked him into it. So then when he goes to Doctor Strange and tell him the plan, Doctor Strange is like, nah, this is magic is getting crazy. You don't know what's gonna happen. This multiverse magic shit is not happening. So Peter and Doctor Strange have a conflict that he snatches the object that Doctor Strange is going to use to send them away, and basically say, I'm out. Runs. This is one of the best fight scenes of the movie too, to me, because seeing Peter fight Doctor Strange was was crazy. And then you finally get to understand, you got to see how his body works with the spider sense, because when Doctor Strange does the astral plane body shit that got happened to him in his first movie, he did it to Peter, and Peter's looking, and he's like, whoa, what the hell's going on? So then Doctor Strange trying to take the box, and Peter's body's moving the box away from him. Like every time he try to reach, his spider sense, and you see the squiggly line. They also did that too. You saw the squiggly lines of the spider sense coming out his head while he's in the astral plane.
Yeah.
And then every time he reach, you see that he's just moving it. He's like, and Peter, I think Peter is attuned. I think his powers might be attuned to magic, because he was able to swim back. No, you never see nobody go back to their body unless they were pulled back. He swam back to his body, and then regained his body, and then was able to get away. And then that's when Doctor Strange decided to do the Mirrorverse, whatever, to fight. Which I must say, that's a great callback to Thor, because Peter realized that that the magic that Doctor Strange using is math, He said, "Wait, this is geometry. You know geometry. You love geometry." And if anybody watched the first Thor movie, when he was talking to Natalie Portman's character, he said,
Okay.
"What you guys call it science, we call it what we call magic. You guys call science and math, and it's one and the same." So basically, Thor laid out the saying that the magic and math and science, it's all interlinked together. So that's why when Peter looked at the magic that's going on, he said, "This is math," and he was able, which is crazy, trap Doctor Strange in his own mirrorverse. And had him hanging over the Grand Canyon for how long? You said 12 hours or something?
Yeah, he snatched his sling ring.
For 12 hours, my nigga.
He snatched his sling ring.
Yeah, he snatched his sling ring and gave it to Ned, and that's how we found out that Ned had the magic. Because he said his grandmother said that they have the magic in their family. Or whatever. He was telling Dr. Strange. And Dr. Strange did he crack a fat joke on him or something like that? He said, "I will see a physician" or some shit like that.
He said, "Yeah, get the tickling your fingers and your fingers."
In my fingers.
Yeah, that was definitely a fat joke. That was definitely like a...
When I heard it in the theaters, I said, "Yo, did Dr. Strange crack a fat joke?" Yo. He said, "I'm gonna take it in my fingers." He said, "I'm gonna go see a physician." But yo, so we find out Ned grandmother was right, because as the stuff was going chaotic, they were wishing to find Peter, and here comes Andrew Garfield. That's the Peter they find, and when he tried it again to find Peter, here comes Tobey Maguire. That's the other Peter they find.
Now, how you skip a whole? You skip the whole?
That scene deserves its own thing, man. It's gonna get heavy. We talk about that scene first, bro.
You talking about the Marissa Tomei scene?
Yes, it's gonna get heavy, bro. I know.
All right,
I know.
You got it. I trust.
I know. That scene's gonna get real heavy for me, bro. Like, so basically, that's how they find the Andrew Garfield and the Tobey Maguire Peters. They were on this Earth, but they were in. Ironically, Garfield was in his Spider-Man costume because he didn't know what was going on, so he stayed suited up. But Peter was over here looking like a youth pastor.
That's what they said that shit too, right? They said
that's Andrew Garfield joke in the movie. He said, "You got Andrew. Do you have a suit, or you plan to fight as a youth pastor? A youth pastor."
Yo, that shit had me rolling.
Yeah. So so basically that's how they got introduced. So what Fresh is alluding to what made Ned and MJ want to find Peter is as he successfully beat Doctor Strange, and he was trying to help the villains, and he successfully helped one, Dr. Octopus. He fixed his inhibitor chip, so he got his good conscience back. He's no longer evil. Doc Ock was fixed. As you're trying to fix the others, Green Goblin going to Green Goblin.
His Spidey sense went on 1,000 with this one.
1,000, bro. No joke. It went off so bad
that
he knew who was going to be in danger.
He knew who was in danger.
He was like, May.
And he didn't know from who until he stopped. And then you just sort of, and then you see William Dafoe just face just changed from to the goblin smile. I'm like, oh man.
That turn though.
He was in power Goblin was in charge the whole time.
Nah, he was definitely, yeah.
Goblin was in charge. He was just pretending to be Norman, but he was in power. He was in charge the whole time. And he stayed so low key that until he was ready to make his move, Peter's spider sense didn't go off, yo. That blew my mind. Crazy. That blew my mind when I saw that thing. I said, yo.
That's crazy.
He realized a character change, and that's when his spider sense popped. a character change, not a fucking action, something that's gonna happen. Like this is like he's like I foresee future kind of fucking shit. Like damn, bro, that and you can see
Bro,
like,
bro, it's not. He was changed already because when he was fixing the stuff, I think Doc asked him a question, and he said something mad cryptic, bro. Like I forgot exactly what he said, but his back was turned to Doc Ock, and he said something cryptic, and I said,
it's when Doc Ock was basically saying it worked, and he was like, "All right, Norman." He's like, "We're good." He was like, "You're next." He's like, "After this, it'll be just you, no terrible monster or some shit like that." And he was like, "Just me?" in the Goblin voice. I'm like, "Oh shit,
yeah,
it's over, bro.
Yeah,
It's over."
And that's what he wants. That's what Goblin wants. He wants to get rid of weak Norman. So he basically the thing they made that they thought was supposed to cure Goblin, that was just to weaken the Norman side. Goblin was altering his own freaking cure.
Yeah.
He was altering his own freaking cure. It was to make the Norman side weaker.
Yeah. That was crazy.
And then Peter just knew his aunt was in danger. He said, "Yo, May, run." May grabbed the stuff. She tried to dip. And that one of the most brutal fight scenes I've ever seen. I think this one, I gotta rewatch Spider-Man 1, but I think this fight scene might have been a bit more brutal.
Welcome to Friday Night SmackDown, ladies and
gentlemen. It was definitely like the most brutal. Like I seen him like throwing punches while holding punches.
Dudes
he was doing a fucking elbow, like
bro. I done seen
German suplex.
He got German suplex. Spine busted through floors. So Spider-Man's over here. He's trying to fight Goblin. Aunt May's trying to run away, and every floor Aunt May goes to, Goblin smashes Spider-Man through the floor to get to that level that she's at, yo. Yo.
The fucking dope shit is when Spider-Man flips him and he like kind of like surfboards on top of him and busts through 2 floors. I'm like, that was hot.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was fucking hot.
Yeah,
bro. And when he punched him and he just looked at him and smiled, like I said, "Yo, it's over." I said, "Yo, Goblin's OP." Like, mind you, this is Tobey Maguire Spider-Man.
Yeah, my man
got wrecked by Goblin in a hand-to-hand fight, bro, in the first movie. I remember that shit. It was like, yo, it was so bad. It was like Apollo Creed Drago. I was like, stop the fight. Yo, I was over here like, stop the fight. I was looking for the black guy. I said, throw the towel.
Man, Green Goblin. She was getting brutal, bro.
Bro.
My man Goblin taking straight fist to the face, laughing on some real Joker type shit. Like, it was getting real crazy for me, man.
You know, I just didn't like the little hate that some people were giving Marissa Tomei for being the one. Because, you know, all right, I'm skipping again. So Aunt May, they get to the lower level. Goblin sees Aunt May. Goblin going to Goblin. Uses his glider. Crashes Aunt May. I'm like, holy shit. Aunt May is dead. I'm like, holy shit, yo. Aunt May is, yo, that I said, there's no way. Ain't no way, B. The way that Goblin glider smacked into her, I said, ain't no way, B. But yo, she popped up like
it was like how Kingpin got smacked by that car.
She popped up like, I'm good. I'm good. What's good, Peter? I say, yo.
Okay, I guess you good then. Let's go.
He's like, you all right? He's like, yo, I'm good. She's like, are you okay? And I'm thinking, okay, she's okay. Yeah, okay. Damn, girl, you tough, yo. I thought that shit had, all right.
I would have been on the ground for 3 days, bro.
Bro.
Bro, would have been over.
Bro, you'd have heard me like, hey Siri, call 911.
she popped up like she was embarrassed. My nigga, like, oh shit, nobody saw that. All right, let's go.
Yeah, she popped up like, yo, good. You good? I'm good. You
Yeah.
good? Let's go.
You good? Yeah, you good? Shit. Let's go. Oh man.
Yeah, that would have been finished.
Yo, bro. Yo, she ate that shit, bro. She ate that guy. Like, I could have sworn. Yo, I'm pretty sure that shit went bang when it hit her. Like, it was like a whole
that shit was bad.
Bro, it was right up there with the keeping your hit with the car. It was like that same kind of force, bro.
Yeah, man. It was exactly like that, bro. Like, damn. I didn't even see that shit coming.
Yeah, so we thinking she's good. Nah, she ain't good, B. Because she started getting woozy. Whoa. And Peter's like, oh, well, babe. And then this is when my eyes started to water a little bit because then I knew, bro. And she's talking to him. She's giving the heart to heart. Like she's giving final words talk, yo. I'm like, nah, they're not about to. They're not after they could have just kept her on the floor, man. They didn't just okie doke us like this, bro.
Word.
And then she used the iconic line, but she did it differently. She didn't say Uncle Ben's line.
She said it the correct way.
She said it the proper way. The Stan Lee way, the way Stan Lee wrote it, bro. I'm getting chills right now just talking about it, right, bro. She said it the way Stan Lee wrote it, bro. Exactly, word for word, how Stan Lee wrote it. And for people who are hating on that shit, y'all know what the fuck y'all talking. For a Spider-Man fan, when I saw that shit, I lost my shit, bro. Not only was I sad of what was happening in the moment, because I knew when she said those words, that's it. Whoever say those words to him, that's it. They're done.
It's a wrap.
Fuck your life.
This guy. We over here having a serious moment. This fucking guy, yo.
Nah, it's true. Like when those words are spoken, it's it.
Yo,
there's not like, hey, I'm gonna tell you this shit and then we good. Nah, you out.
You out. And she said this the Stanley way. And I got emotional. I ain't gonna hold you. I got emotional. There's only a couple times a Spider-Man movie got me emotional. One was Amazing Spider-Man 2, even though that movie wasn't that Gwen Stacy scene hit me hard, bro. Andrew Garfield, the way he did that scene, bro, I was like, damn.
It was beautiful.
Yeah. And they recaptured that, the emotion. I felt like in this movie they recaptured the same way of like a loss. Because if you don't know what Peter deals with loss, he loses a lot. He loses people he care about a lot. And that's one of the things like that hits him the most. Like his failure of losing people, like failing to save the people he care about. It hits him hard. And like they recaptured that loss scene so perfectly. Like I was like, damn, man. I had to take a minute, sip my soda. I was like, yo, I got set in my eye real quick. Let me. I was like that, and the way she died, bro, like it was ugly. It wasn't a. Let me just fade off.
It wasn't
bro. It was a like that shit would haunt you in your dreams, like kind of death, bro. Like
and she didn't even know.
The eyes were open.
She didn't even know she until he saw like the blood. She's like, "What happened?" He's like, "No, don't worry about it. We're gonna take you to the hospital." But
that was the part right there.
The whole interaction, him like saying, "Wake up, like stop playing, like speak to me, talk to me."
And that's yo, bro. I'm getting chills again.
And then the fucking him, taking his forehead and just kind of like hitting his forehead against hers, and I'm like. That just felt so real, and you could just tell, like as an actor, like Tom Holland, like is getting better. Like we started off as a 15-year-old fucking Spider.
Yeah. This little punk has been making us emotional since Homecoming, man. I'm about to fight this guy.
Yeah,
he's over here making me emotional since Homecoming, bro.
Yeah, because Homecoming when the building fell on top of him. That was like emotion. He was like, somebody help me, somebody. Like you felt like he was vulnerable.
Yeah, as a kid. Like,
He's a
when he
fuck-
did it, it's like, yo, you felt like how a kid would feel. Like, yo, this is like a kid trap. He's like, oh, freaking out. Like, I'm like, oh man, I got emotional, yo, bro. F you, Tom Holland, for being so damn good at this shit. F you, Tom Holland, bro. Like,
yeah, he's a good Peter and he's a good Spider-Man. It's just his web slinging is not what we used to. He's not. He doesn't. He's not really. I don't think he's been Spider-Man long enough to have that that traversing shit
I
that
mean,
Andrew Garfield, because he was like the best when it came to swinging.
I think, yo, I'm gonna jump up on it, but I'm about to say a controversial topic. But I just want to touch on the Aunt May thing one more time. It's great. It's just very creepy when he said "wake up," and her freaking eyes were not like
Would not move. Yeah,
they were not moving. It was open. Like how you say "wake up" to somebody? Her eyes are open, bro. There's no waking up. It's gone.
And even when he said, "All right," he's like, "I'm so sorry," because he had to bounce. I don't know if that was her crying, tearing down, or that was his tears going down her face, because the tear came down. I'm like, oh, fuck.
I think it was his tear. I think his tear fell on her cheek.
I thought it was her. I thought it was her. My fault.
I thought it was her too. Like maybe she could hear some part of it, and then she was like, "Get him out." She bled out.
Bled out. And another thing too, crazy. Like when I was watching that scene, I was screaming in my head because I'm in the movie theater. I can't scream out loud to the screen. But if I was at home, I was screaming, "Put pressure on the wound! Put pressure on the wound, man!" Put pressure on the wound, man. Survival instinct 101. Always put pressure on the wound, yo. If you are near a friend and they're bleeding out, they're bleeding profusively. If you could find where the wound is, always put pressure on the wound. Find some rags or towel, use your t-shirt or whatever. Put pressure on the wound and call 911. It will help save their life to slow down the blood pressure flowing out. Please. I was just.
I feel like he could have saved her.
He could have. He could have. But then again, like I said, he's a kid. I didn't know nothing about putting pressure on wounds when I was a teenager.
He definitely could have like webbed her back, bow, and then swung to a fucking hospital. Because
my man said do a quick fix.
Yeah, like stop the blood.
What was that? Evil Dead when they was using duct tape?
Bring it to a freaking hospital and then fucking see what happens. If it's the blood, that's gonna the reason why she dies. She bled out.
All right, so now I went back to my controversial take is I told our Fresh Prince this already, but I think Andrew Garfield is the best Spider-Man, bro. Without after seeing all three of them on the screen, I felt he was more Spider-Man accurate than all of them.
In this movie.
No, I mean Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Period.
His Peter Parker was a little off in the Amazing Spider-Man shit, but I always felt his Spider-Man was on.
His Spider-Man was a better Spider-Man. He was just not as a great speed. Well, because we was comparing only one Spider-Man was Toby and him, and he was a better Peter. He was a better Peter Parker than Toby was a little bit.
I think where Amazing Spider-Man suffered is like I told in the story. They had the best Spider. Put it like this: is what Ben Affleck going through right now. We have the best Batman going through bad stories, except for Snyder Cut, because that was what should have been released, but it wasn't released. But we have the best Batman going through bad. So people right now think Christian Bale is the best, or they'll be Michael Keaton. To me, the more comic book accurate Batman has been Ben Affleck. Without the stupid Josh Whedon jokes, without that crap, but he's been the more comic book accurate, and I feel like to me, Andrew Garfield has been the more comic book accurate Spider-Man. Like he has it down. Even his jokes is on point, bro. Like he cracked Spider-Man jokes, bro. Like the youth pastor shit.
Yeah.
Like who would have thought? Who would have thought of that shit, bro?
Tom Holland didn't have the joke. He doesn't have jokes like
No, he don't have the jokes, bro. Like even when they're fighting, if you watch Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, he's always throwing zingers out there at them. Like he's throwing like jokes at them to get in their head, like Spider-Man would do. Spider-Man cracks the jokes to get in your head, and he does that when he's fighting in his Amazing Spider-Man movie. He does that. Like none of the other Spider-Mans do that. They don't really crack like the Spider-Man jokes and stuff like that. That's why I feel like he's the more comic book accurate Spider-Man. But that's my controversial opinion. There's people that's gonna battle me and say Toby's the best.
I'm with you, bro. Don't even worry about it.
I'm like 80% with you.
I'll take the 80%, yo, because normally you be like 50, and I gotta like.
Nah, I'm like 80. I'm 80 because I
persuade me.
I don't mind Andrew Garfield. I think he's as far as like emotional, like he's better at it.
Oh yeah.
But like Tom Holland is up there as well. They're just two different Peter Parkers. They both play them well. It's just different universes well. You know what I mean? Like for the MCU, Tom Holland is better for the MCU.
Tom Holland is better for the MCU. I don't know. He is good for the MCU. Don't get me wrong. He's good for the MCU, but I feel like you could put Garfield in the MCU too.
I mean, technically, they are in the MCU.
Well, technically they are MCU canon now. Yeah, they are.
Spider-Man 1 is the first movie to kick off the MCU.
They are MCU canon right now. I'm talking about the overall Marvel Disney timeline, and now they're in the canon because once they were in the movie, their universe is now part of the MCU canon. So,
but I heard a long time ago that they didn't want to recast Andrew Garfield. They just didn't want to pay him any more money.
He didn't want to be recast. He after playing Spider-Man, he's petitioning to play doing Amazing Spider-Man 3 right now, and he may get it.
I think what they doing.
I heard it's already in production.
I think it's already done. I think that he's gonna be the Morbius Spider-Man, his universe, his Spider-Man.
Hey, whatever you got to do.
Yeah,
bring
Venom
Garfield when he wants to come back.
Spider-Man.
I think he's gonna be in the Venom. He's gonna be the Sony universe Spider-Man.
He should.
Yeah,
I'm cool with that. Keep give him the Sony universe, and then keep Holland in the Disney MCU. I'm good with that.
That's why he was saying, I didn't fight anybody cool. I want to fight aliens.
Yeah.
So they're gonna give him that.
Yeah.
He needed that.
He said all I got was a guy in a rhino suit, a mechanized rhino suit. And I like it. He said, "Oh, don't you're amazing." I was like, I see what you did there.
The Leonardo DiCaprio meme. Yep, I get that. He said amazing.
He said you're amazing. But I also like their interaction with the three Peters though. Like I think
that was amazing to see, bro. That was I couldn't believe what my eyes were watching.
They were all you could tell that like they're all like hive mind or something. Is it weird to say hive mind? Like it's like you could tell even though they're from different universes, like they have like the all like one connected like mindset, like their mind like it's like almost the same.
That's how they think. Yeah, they think the same.
Yeah.
They different universes, but they do this. They make the same decisions.
And that's Spider-Man. Spider-Man is a fuck up that fixes his failures.
The only thing I wish we got more story on like what happened to Peter. Like Peter said, yeah, things worked out with MJ. Well, I'm talking about Tobey Maguire's. But did he have a kid or something like that? His
Peter too.
Yeah, he said
that's what everybody was saying too. They want to know what like if they had a kid, and they're saying that maybe if they Sony wants to do like a Spider Girl, they could make Tobey Maguire's Peter like that Spider Girl his universe where he's the father and like he's teaching her how to be Spider like a Spider-Man or whatever like that.
Yeah, that's why I think we're gonna end up getting the Miles Morales in that Sony universe as well. I think
I was hearing rumors that he might be Marvel's because I think this did Holland said he doesn't want to be Spider-Man past 30. So if you look at it, they're talking about another Spider-Man trilogy they're gonna do with him.
And he's already talking about him now. He's not even interested in playing Spider-Man anymore.
Yeah, after 30, he doesn't want to play Spider-Man.
He doesn't want to play Spider-Man. Like he's been saying, like, oh, I think it's time for me to say goodbye. I'm like, yo, bro, he was just on stage crying last year talking about the Sony.
That's a change because he was just on the red carpet and he said he'll do more Spider-Man movies if they ask him to.
Yeah, but if there's so many different reports of him saying that if he has to, he'll walk away. That he wants to give another person an opportunity to become Spider-Man. I'm like, bro, like, no, dude, like you're in it. That's it. Like the fucking ending of this movie, bro. I need to see that finished.
I need to see that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think he's gonna get another trilogy. I think they're gonna introduce Miles for the MCU after that trilogy.
I think,
or maybe the trilogy is gonna include Miles, where he's training Miles in it.
Yeah, because he doesn't.
You have him and Miles having to stop the Venom symbiote.
I mean, that's true. I mean, I know we are blowing past the storyline, but yeah, we'll get there.
We definitely went to future talk.
Nah, dude, this is Untitled Fashion. We do this shit all the time, bro.
Yeah, so now so the Peters are trying to fix the villains. They come with the idea because Tobey Maguire says, Norman Osborn been bothering him a long time. So mind you, this is like years later. These Peters are not the Peters from the moment that they fought the villains that they're fighting. These are Peters that dealt with these villains, and they got older and more mature after the stuff. So these are not like at the moment Peters. These are like future Peters, Peter Parkers from these universes, coming to fight their old villains. So when they're updated to like, first they have to find the original Peter for our universe, which is Tom Holland. They're trying to find him, and this is where you find out that every Spider-Man has his solitude spot.
Yeah,
where the spot where he goes when he wants to think about stuff going to. Well, you know how like Batman has the Batcave, Superman has the Fortress of Solitude, Spider-Man has a spot, and for Tobey Maguire, it was the Empire State Building.
Yeah,
Empire, and I think
Andrew was the Chrysler, and then for Tom
Holland, Toby was the Chrysler. And
Toby's the Chrysler.
Was the Empire State.
Okay, cool. I feel like I was mixing them up.
He was sitting on the Eagle. Yeah.
Yeah. So Toby is the Chrysler. Andrew is the Empire State Building, and for Tom Holland, his spot is the top of the school because he never lived in the city yet, so he doesn't have a spot yet. Which I think is another cool little thing they spotted out. And if you notice, in the background of the school, they have the graffiti of the Spider-Man's co-creator Ditko.
Yeah, Ditko. Yep.
So that was pretty cool too to see that. They go recruit Peter, and then the Peters have to talk and about their loss. And I mean, Tom Holland Peter is being a little bit of a dick, which we can understand. He just lost his aunt, and so so we could understand. We're not gonna fault him for being an a-hole. But then he said to these Spider-Mans like, oh, y'all don't know what it's like. Yeah, basically y'all don't know. So then that's when everybody started talking about their loss. And here comes Andrew Garfield with the fucking making me emotional. He bringing back triggering my PTSD of seeing the ending of Amazing Spider-Man 2, talking about losing Gwen.
Word.
And then Toby talk about losing his Uncle Ben. So then he's like, oh shit, they do know. So after they have the little conversation, they all agree that curing the villains is the best option. And that's where we have the hive mind Peter that we was talking about, where they all work together to create these cures, where Toby point out that he's been thinking about Norman Osborn for years on how to fix him, and he knows how to do it. Andrew Garfield straight up said, I know how to fix Lizard. He's easy.
Yeah, he did it.
Yeah, he already did it. So I know how to, he said, I got Lizard.
Easy, the whole movie.
Sandman, they figured out how to fix that. They basically figured out how to fix all the villains, which I think was pretty cool. they cured them of their ailments. I never seen no movie do that before. Cure their villains. I've never seen that done before.
Going back into what I said earlier in the show, like the ramifications that happen now that you saved them. Does this mean that Gwen Stacy's father doesn't die, and then his whole future changes where Gwen Stacy doesn't die, right? Because Electro is not in that. He's not. I think he's only person he's dealing with is the Goblin.
I think she still dies because Goblin's the one that killed her. They didn't kill Goblin.
But maybe there's something that happens. Maybe she survives. Maybe there's a possibility that Spider Gwen will actually become a thing. We might get that.
It could be. I'm not. You're right.
She said that she wants to come back. So now you know what's funny. They all want to come back now, right? But before the it was like nah, we good. We passed that. Now they see this fucking money maker.
I got to give a shout out to William Dafoe though, because my man said he only come back in one condition. He doing his own stunts, and I say, yo. So if you're watching the movie and you see a Goblin fight, that's William Dafoe doing that shit, yo. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's his old ass.
That's insane. That's William Dafoe fighting and doing the gliding and all that shit.
Yeah, if he cured William Dafoe, that means his son doesn't become the Green Goblin, Hobgoblin.
Yeah, Harry. That cures Harry through proxy.
The Sandman doesn't exist. Only person he's dealing with in the part 3 is fucking Venom.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's definitely gonna change his like. I guess I don't know how that works out. I don't know how if it.
But that's why I said the loophole with Amazing Spider-Man 2 is the fact that it's Goblin, Harry Osborn Goblin that kills Gwen. So technically, he still has to overcome that guy, which was that was the last fight of the movie. They beat Electro first because Goblin didn't intervene. He came after they fought Electro and everything, and that's when.
But now, that version of Peter knows how to cure him.
No, it's a different thing. Their thing is two different things.
But
Goblin and Amazing Spider-Man is Spider-Man's blood.
Was it Spider-Man's blood?
Yeah, in Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, he needed.
No, I think he wanted Spider-Man's blood. I think, but the shit that he used to stop his mutation was pretty much like that same green smoke, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. He used Spider-Man's blood and he mixed it with something else. But the main base ingredient was Spider-Man's blood, and he mixed it with something else in Oscorp, and that's when he became the Goblin. He went into that machine shit and became the Goblin.
How the fuck did he get his blood? I'm having a moment. I don't remember this.
I don't rewatch the movie, but I can't remember if Peter gave it to him.
He was dying from like some type of disease. He was dying from some type of genetic disease. So it's kind of different.
But he told him that he was not giving him the blood. So he never gave him the blood. When he went down to that basement. Yeah. He's like, "Oh, you had this the whole time," and it was like some kind of like, I guess, whatever he used to think that it was a cure, but it was not. But it was not Peter's blood. Okay, I watched it recently.
It's still not the synthetic gas that Norman took though.
I mean, it's just a different version, but it's the same. Like it's the same, not the same universe, but it's the same kind of like.
Nah, that shit had that Osborn shit and Amazing Spider-Man 2 had extra shit in there. It was like creatures. They had animal shit in that shit, bro.
Yeah, they was.
It wasn't just straight up like chemicals.
But we didn't know what was in that material, that canister, anyways.
You're gonna make me rewatch all these shits, bro. We're gonna have that. We're gonna this is a future discussion. Can I have my mind is hazy on this shit? I gotta rewatch all this shit, bro.
I watched these movies last week, and they didn't explain what was inside that canister. So who knows if it's even though it's not a different universe, but it's still the same situations. So maybe he can save him at some point.
Sorry, you gave me something to watch. I'm gonna watch it on Saturday and Sunday. I'm off, so I'm gonna watch these Spider-Man movies.
They're
Give me
fun.
something to watch.
I watched them all. I watched before this movie. I watched every single one of them, and I had a good time.
Cause I remember the Goblin formula being different in the Amazing Spider-Man 2 than it has like some weird shit in it, and they mentioned it. They mentioned there's some weird shit in it, but I gotta rewatch it because he has like a disease. It's whatever the weird shit they mixed with his disease that disformed him. It's not just straight up like the performance, like because William Dafoe shit is performance enhancers that just drove his mind crazy.
Yeah.
Versus this one was
Yeah,
like
his was like a super soldier.
some genetically altered, it was like some genetically altering shit. But William Dafoe shit was just like his body just got like a boost, like kind of like taking that super soldier serum or some shit. Like he just took steroid shit or something that drove his mind crazy.
Yeah, well, it's probably something he could think of, like, hey, listen, I could save him now. Let's do some research, find out what he took,
It's possible,
and make a serum, because they made a whole bunch of serum that didn't really exist. They just made that shit on the fly. But it's definitely a dope concept that things can change as far as like the whole landscape. So it almost seems like part 2 and part 3 doesn't even exist.
I ain't gonna hold you though. I don't want her to bring one back. She gotta stay dead. I'm serious. She gotta stay dead. Like you got bring in a MJ, bring in a Felicia. I was saying bring Felicia Hardy.
Yeah, she was in it.
Bring Black Cat.
Hardy.
Yeah, she was in the movie.
Bring a Black Cat. Bring Black Cat. Like,
yeah, they didn't do nothing with that character. They made her into like a receptionist. She was an assistant.
Mm-hmm.
She was.
Yeah, they didn't know. That's only not knowing who the character was and how to use her, because she's like rich. There's no way she'd be anybody assistant or secretary. like, yo, that was Sony not knowing what to do with the characters at the time. But back to the shit. So they go to the spot, and Spider-Mans don't fight well with each other because they're so used to fighting solo. They were fumbling the ball a lot in the first fight. So they had to do a little huddle. Which I think is pretty cool to call that out. Like, I like that they didn't just automatically have them fighting well with each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
That's because he's so used to being alone and fighting that, like, well, not Tom Holland, but I'm talking about Garfield and Maguire. They're so used to fighting these situations by themselves. They were like zipping each other on each other's lines and stuff like that. They was running into each other, bumping into each other and stuff like that. So it was cool that they called out. They did a little huddle shit, and basically Tom Holland said, "Hey, let me take point because I'm used to working with the Avengers." And the way they got excited, you think they knew who the Avengers were?
The Avengers? What is that?
Was that a bed?
You're in a bed.
He said, the Avengers. He said, "Oh, cool, man, that's awesome. Was that a bed?" Like, yo, so I mean, I guess that shows they don't have Avengers in their universes. Although Toby has a Doctor Strange,
he does, yeah.
But I guess it's so they don't have Avengers in their universe.
But Andrew Andrew's character did say that, oh, you have magic here too. So in his universe, he has magic, some kind of magic. It's a lot, man. It's a lot to unpack, bro. It's a lot.
Yeah. So basically, the fight happens. Tom Holland takes point.
Back problem.
Huh?
Man, Toby with the back problem.
Oh yeah, that's the joke there. The running. I mean, his back is really fucked up though.
It's fucked up because he almost lost the role in part 2 because his back got fucked up in Seabiscuit.
Yeah.
he almost lost the job to Jake Gyllenhaal.
To Jake Gyllenhaal, right?
Yeah. His back got fucked. So that's like the ongoing joke. Even in the movie, they said my back. So I was kind of, I liked when they brought that shit back up. He's like over here like, yo. So what's going on? He said my freaking back. But then Andrew Garfield's like, it's like a low back thing, right? And then I remember that they basically they pointed out it's due to the web swinging, but Tom Holland never did it. He hasn't tried it yet, but when they first tried their web swing, they both fell from high spots. So that's why they both got a little lower back issue and stuff like that. He's like, yo, you want me to crack it for you, bro?
Before you move on, right? It's kind of sad now knowing that in the MCU we may not get Osborn location like the Osborn building. Like we're not gonna get any. I don't think Osborn is not gonna exist in the MCU.
It's not going. Yeah,
because now he's gonna be like, oh shit, Osborn, and he's gonna meet a different Harry or a different Norman. He's gonna be like, that motherfucker's gonna be bad.
I think it's all gonna. I honestly think in the new trilogy, Ned is gonna turn bad. Because we're gonna skip forward. We're gonna be talking future talk again. Hold on. Let me go. So, where was I left off at? Oh yeah, they started team working together after the whole back thing. They started team working together. Basically, they got to cure Sandman and a few of them. I don't know. Was it Green Goblin that tried to take out MJ again?
Yeah.
So Goblin tried to go after MJ again. Tom Holland's MJ.
No, I think it was the Lizard that knocked him over.
Was it? I know the Lizard was the reason why they showed up on the platform because Ned was supposed to close the portal, but he couldn't close it. So Lizard jumped into their portal, and then Holland jumped in there with them, and he was fighting the Lizard. And they ended up having to run out the portal out to the way the Statue of Liberty was. I think Goblin did something. He blew up something and like it shifted and knocked her off.
Yeah,
I can't remember. I gotta rewatch it. This is why we gotta rewatch things. But she ends up falling, and you see Tom Holland, Peter, like reaching, jumping to go grab her. And you thinking like they were like this close, and he's like, yeah, okay. I said I was PTSDing again. I thought I was gonna see. I said, yo, don't do this to me. We already lost Aunt May, man. We can't do this. We can't do this. So I think he's about to save it. No, Goblin comes to be a dick. Boom with his glider, smacks Tom Holland out again. And who gets to redeem his fucking self? Andrew fucking Garfield, baby. He saw it. He dove. And if you notice, this time around, he made sure he prepared to jump better when he did it. He did the jump way better than he did for Gwen. And he knew not to try to use the web because, the web would do a snapback. So he jumped and caught her. And I was like, yes.
He definitely focused on the jump. He was like, I jumped. He caught her with his hands and then landed. Stick the landing.
Yo. And I was like, fucking yes, bro. I was hyped. That thing got me hyped. And then, of course, he started doing the teary-eye shit because he redeemed himself, but it's still not the person he wanted to save, bro. Like
he wished he did this with the other.
That's it. Yeah, he wish he had did what he did with Gwen. Damn, man. Shit got me fucked up, bro.
Yo, and it's funny because I called that shit. I'm like, yeah, it has to be him. If these guys are in the movie, that scene, it's gonna have to be him.
I think you did call it in one of the past episodes that it was gonna be him that catches her.
Like it has
when
to.
You saw the Gwen, you said I think it was you that said it. It was gonna be him that catches her falling.
But you know what? Even though I called it, seeing it was like, oh my god. Like I was oh my god, and then you see him like kind of like crying, like not crying, but like holding it back. I'm like, you could feel that heaviness.
Mm-hmm.
Like, wow, like that's like even if she don't understand, she's like, you okay? It's like
yeah, that part. That's when I stopped down when she said, "Yo, you okay, bro?
You okay?
It's like, you okay? Yeah.
That shit was a lot, bro. Like this movie was fucking amazing. It was hot.
Mhm.
It was fucking heavy. Like the emotional, like jokes and everything was balanced. Pacing.
Yeah, it was amazing, spectacular, sensational. That's my that's that's what everybody asks me what I think about the movie. Amazing, spectacular, sensational, like,
and superior to all the rest.
Yo, me and Red was going in on some dude, not going in, but like somebody online said some rule, like said this movie was kind of like it was meh, and I was like,
but
what?
yeah, I was like, did you even watch? Like, bro, it made me to the point like, did you even watch the movie, bro? Like, you just say some craziness right now, bro.
Yo, and within the same, I would say the same like couple of months before that, he said he gives fucking Venom a 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10, perfect movie.
He was bugging. I seen that and I couldn't even continue to
Oh,
read
you
the
probably
comments
did,
on that one. Yeah, I was good on that. Like, you're bugging, bro. Like, you're bugging
perfect
right
review. Let There Be Carnage. That movie was so trash. And I love Ed Hardy as an actor, bro. I love Woody Harrelson as an actor. But that story, my God, was so trash, bro.
There's no way you're gonna tell me a scene with a Venom coming out party is better than this, bro. You're bugging.
The coming out party. Yeah. I didn't even think about that.
That's bro, exactly what it was, bro.
Let's just call it the fact they said Cletus Cassidy and Carnage is not perfectly in sync in the movie, bro. He said, look at that. They don't have a perfect connection. I'm like, what? Cletus Cassidy and Carnage doesn't have a perfect connection? Are you kidding me? This is the one dude Spider-Man is afraid of fighting every time he meets. He has to go to Venom for help every time he fights Carnage, bro. What are we talking about, bro?
And this is exactly why Feige said, let me get that little drop right there. The rest of y'all get the fuck out of here, bro. Let me do what we need to do over here. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, what is it?
I'm hoping that little bit of symbiote, whatever that shit is, maybe Flash Thompson gets it. You know what I mean? Or some shit like that becomes like an Agent Venom.
That's what I'm thinking.
Because he idolized Spider-Man so much that he will look like Spider-Man with the, try to be a because now he doesn't look like Peter. Does exist.
I don't know who did it first.
And they kind of set it up the way they was really like bitching Flash in this movie for the few scenes he was in it. It seemed like that might be where they're going with it.
Well, I mean, Flash don't even know.
I mean, he might not. I mean, he doesn't know he's Spider-Man, but that doesn't change the fact of how the rest of them been treating him this entire time. He might not remember Peter, but he gonna remember everybody else playing him for the same type of shit.
But treating him, Flash is the bully. Flash was bullying everybody else.
I mean, in the beginning, the way I'm looking at it right now, even though we didn't get to the end, I'm not gonna spoil it. But like before, like basically, it's remembering that this is this. It's not just total wiping of a person's persona. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like everybody still knows about Spider-Man.
We're gonna come back. Hold the thought because we gotta finish to come back to it because this is where the conversation is about to get really fucking deep now with this whole thing, right? So just to get you guys caught up, right? So what happens now, right? Peter, we talk about Andrew Garfield saving MJ, and in that same moment, Peter and Harry Osborn, Green Goblin, are now about to get into their final duel. That's when he swipes Peter away. They're getting into their final fight, and Peter is fucking pissed. Tom Holland is pissed and vengeful, and Green Goblin kind of wishing he didn't pick this fight. Oh, meanwhile, I forgot to add that Goblin blew up the little box that Doctor Strange was housing the spell. So Doctor Strange did appear back in the final fight, but he couldn't really help because he's too busy trying to contain all of the universe from breaking from the spell that Goblin released. So that's why he's not able to help Spider-Man fight what he's doing. So the final fight, no punches are being held back.
Oh no.
He was giving Goblin full force punch, and Goblin was like, "Okay, for the first 2 ones, he's like, okay, I could take this." Nah. After that, it was like, nah, this is too much.
He was definitely giving him the glazed eye look, like.
Bro, no lie, he was definitely working. He was working Goblin's face.
Dafoe was looking like John Wick 1 when he was getting.
Yeah. You definitely right about that. That's a perfect one, yo. That's exactly. Yo, Tom Holland Spider-Man did not hold back. He was cracking this dude with all kinds of punches and kicks and spider flips and and it's full force stuff. And anybody who knows Spider-Man pulls his punches when he's fighting all his villains. But the dude is insanely strong. He's insanely strong. Like as you seen in the Spider-Man Homecoming, he lifted that whole big metal structure off his back. He can lift a car with ease. Let's just put it like that. Spider-Man is not struggling to lift a lot of things on Earth. He hides his strength very well. That's why people think he's weaker than what he is, because he pulls his strength back. Perfect run for explaining his strength. Reed Superior Spider-Man with Dan Slott. Even though I didn't agree with the storyline of that thing, but it perfectly shows when a villain takes over Spider-Man's body, what Spider-Man can truly do. That Superior Spider-Man storyline, read that shit. But
side note, I literally just told my son those exact words earlier today, and now he wants that comic, so now I gotta go find that for him.
You can get it as a graphic novel. They'll have it as a graphic novel where you can just read it all at once as a big book. Amazon will probably have that shit if you can't find it in a comic shop.
Yeah, I'm trying to get him a few of them.
Yeah.
My fault. Go ahead.
No, it's cool. It's cool. Yeah, Peter's not holding back punches, and Goblin can't handle it. So he's down, and right behind Peter is Goblin's glider with the blades out, and he's thinking eye for an eye. So he picks up the glider, and just when we think Goblin's seen his final days, he's about to get stabby with his own glider again. But this time wasn't going to be an accident. It was going to be on purpose. Tobey Maguire jumps in, bam, catches the glider. And I have to say, this solidified, to me, Tobey Maguire being the strongest Spider-Man, because he stopped a vengeful Spider-Man using full strength. And he's not vengeful, and he was... Bro, that glider was not moving. Yo, he was looking at him like, you gotta calm down, bro.
They were both watching from like the balcony, like he's my man's wilding. Well, someone stop him. Like,
he was about to go full John Walker on him, bro.
Facts, bro. Yo, yeah.
He was gonna kill him. He was
full cap with the shield before he aimed at the Iron Man's chest. He was like,
Man blacked out. My man had a
and they were fighting on the shield too, which is the crazy symbolism with it too.
Yeah. So Toby saved Goblin's ass. But of course, Goblin going to Goblin, pulls out a blade, stab Toby.
I was sick. I was like,
Goblin's going to Goblin.
I was like, oh no, they can't do this shit, bro.
Yo, I ain't gonna front. Yo, for a second there, I said, "Oh, you gotta be fucking shit." Yo, even the theater was like, "Oh!"
The whole theater, the whole theater, bro. Oh, yes. I'm like, these motherfuckers is fucking followed us right now.
There was one dude in the theater, like when Toby got stabbed. You would have thought it was like his pops got stabbed, bro. The way he was like, "Oh!" He's like, "Oh!"
No.
Like, bro, you would have thought it was his friend.
And the way he laid down to him, like, oh, that's definitely down.
Yo.
Oh man.
So yeah, Andrew Garfield throw the cure over to Tom Holland. Bam. Cures Goblin. and knocks him out. Kills Goblin and knocks him out. So then Andrew Garfield goes over to Peter and is like, yo, you good, bro? He's like, yeah, it's not my first time being stabbed. So that we all got psyched out. We thought he was gonna die. We thought he was gonna die. It's not my first time being stabbed.
Once that joke came up, I was like, yeah, he's good. He's good. It's a flex one.
So then he picked him up. He picked him up. You know, Andrew Garfield supported Toby. And he looked at him and said, you're not allowed to pay right now, aren't you? He said, yeah.
even though, if you've seen his fucking the fucking blades that Goblin has, that shit should have killed him.
Bro, that's a long blade, bro. It's a sword.
It's two blades, right? A one.
Yeah. And it comes right out like it comes out far, bro. It's like that's a
yeah.
Bro, that's a sword. That's a sword stab. That's not like no knife.
Yeah. So technically he could have got bodied, but I guess they have plans for him in the future. So,
bro, Tobey Maguire's a tank, bro. That's tank. I call that tank spot. I don't know. People who play like Smite or League of Legends and stuff, they want to, when you do a tank build where you put all defense on your character, like you doing a tank build, like, that's Tobey Maguire, bro. He can take the punishment and keep coming, bro. He takes beatings and keep coming.
Just wait till you're tired, and then I'm gonna whoop your ass,
bro. Like look at the look at all the beatings. Spider-Man 1, he took all those beatings. The Goblin fight at the end, he got beat. He got wrecked up. His he only had like a thread of a mask left.
Yeah, he just
like,
had
it was. He had a thread of a mask left. Spider-Man 2, he was just his suit was all destroyed, torn up, legs ripped up and shit. He got getting destroyed by the tentacles. And then Spider-Man 3, he was getting pounded out by fucking Venom was choking him while Sandman's over here pounding him with his fist like bam, bam. Toby takes beatings, man. He's on tank mode. But so while that's all going on, I'm digressing. While that's going on, Tom goes speak to Doctor Strange, and he's like, "Oh, what can we do?" He said, "Yo, I can't contain the spell. This spell is going out. I have to figure out some way to fix it." So he said, do the original spell, but make it where everybody forgets me. Which I don't understand. That's the loophole for me. I don't understand why they couldn't just do the original spell where everybody doesn't remember he's Spider-Man. Why did they have to forget him completely? I don't understand that part. But that's why he told Doctor Strange, make it where they forget who Peter Parker is completely. Like, nobody knows Peter Parker. And Doctor Strange's like, are you sure? Because, I mean, that's everybody, bro, including me. Like, I'm not going to know who you are, whatever, blah, blah, blah. He's like, yeah, this is the best way to go. He's like, all right. So Doctor Strange said, all right, say your goodbyes, Joe. Let me know when you're ready. So, he goes. He said goodbye to the two Peters. They all bond. They, have the spider bro moment. Like, I see. They even said see you guys later. I don't know if they meant to put that in, but they said see you later. So I don't know if they're gonna do another one where they appear again or something like that. Because they did say see you later. So it gives me a little hope. We might get another Spider-Verse thing going on.
Yep.
So he goes and talk to his friend Ned and MJ, and he has to break the bad news to them that they're gonna forget him. And it's a deeply emotional scene. I didn't think about the Fresh fucked me up even more with the scene when he told me his connection to the scene, and now that I think about it, it's giving me chills.
Yeah.
But like it's just a hard scene. Like basically, MJ is like, nah, I didn't choose this. Why? I don't want. Basically, like, nah, I don't want to forget you. Like, it's not happening. And he's like, yo, there's no other way. It's like the universe is going to collapse if we don't do this. So she basically makes him promise, like, yo, you better come back and you better come find me. You better come find me. But then, like, I'll let Fresh tell this part because with Ned part, he got me fucked up with Ned's part, man.
Yeah, that's part really got me. Like, that shit was like it brought me back to like thinking about Don and thinking about, he would have loved this movie. He would have fucking loved this shit. The fact that the Filipino was kind of represented in this movie would have been like something he would love, because he was big on his culture. And so like him Ned saying, "Hey, listen, don't forget about me." Like, like crying. I'm like, damn, bro. It made me think about him. Like, oh, don't forget about me. I'm like, yeah, we will never forget about you. We talk about you all the time.
Yeah,
That
man.
was like a big connection for me. So that was like that's when the tear popped up, like it dropped down. And my son looked at me, he's like, "You crying?" I'm like, "Yeah, man, leave me alone, bro." I was like, "Yo," I was like, it was not about that. It was about more like, dealing with that. And because I always felt, even watching Homecoming, like Ned felt like Don, like his whole personality was like Don.
Yeah, that was all of us from day one when we said like, yo, we was like, yo, that's Don, bro. Like we all looked at Ned and said, that's Don.
Yeah, and it's not about him being, overweight or nothing like that. It was just
It's the personality.
personality was it felt like Don, and the fact that we find out that the character that is playing, the actor is playing that leads, is Filipino. And it's like, oh shit, the stars just align, and like that just makes mad sense. But yeah,
Yeah.
that scene was hard. It was hard to watch.
Yeah, it was very emotional. It's a very emotional scene. For casual goers and for us, we'll just put a deeper connection to it now. Yeah, it's a very emotional scene, but I felt like it was done very well. A lot of people, there was people that was complaining about it, but to me, I liked it. I felt like this is the first time we ever got to see them kiss, because we never seen them kiss before. So we got the first.
Then I think they kissed in Far From Home at the end at the bridge.
Yeah,
I think
at the bridge.
it was a peck.
Yeah, it was quick.
It was quick. This
was a makeout session. It wasn't no pet.
You saw the sun going between their lips. That was a whole makeout session.
Yeah, it was a makeout session. Yeah. Oh. He said we saw the sun go between their lips.
That's a different kind. Yeah. This was more like
yo. So they did a final kiss, and she made him promise that, yo, you gotta come back, because if not, I'm gonna figure it out again. You better find me and make me remember. And he promises that, yeah, I'll find you. I'll find both of you guys. I'm gonna find you guys. That's the promise he made. And then he gives Doctor Strange a signal to do the spell, and the spell is takes place, and he dips out of there. He leaves Statue of Liberty Island, which I don't understand how he slipped out of there, because there's no there's no buildings around Statue of Liberty.
It's an
island.
It's a ferry.
Bro. That web line went to heaven, bro.
This is like Captain America when they zip lined in through the window with nothing in the background to hold on to. Like, whatever, bro.
I said, wait, he's on an island. I don't know how he just slipped out of there, but all right.
Later.
Yeah. So basically, everybody forgets him. The spell is done. Nobody knows who Peter Parker is. Peter Parker is erased from memories. Some records, I'm not gonna say all records, because I think he's on some records, because he's going for his GED, which means he has to have a Social Security. So there's Social Security out there with
something.
Huh? Yeah, there's something out there with him. But basically, anything that will connect Peter to someone else is erased. So nobody will connect him to anything, and nobody will connect him to Spider-Man,
which is crazy.
And to confirm it, that the spell worked, he went to his aunt's grave, to lay flowers, and that's when he saw Happy, which a lot of people, I don't know how they were confused about how the spell works, because I was reading online a lot of chats that people were confused. I'm like, oh, does nobody know Spider-Man now? And I said, and is Spider-Man still Avenger? Which, if you clearly pay attention to the Happy scene, you'll understand that people still know Spider-Man. They still know Spider-Man. They just don't know his secret identity now. It's a wrap. They don't know who Peter Parker is. So in the Happy scene, he meets Happy, and they share some words, and he asks her, well, how do you know her? And Happy said, through Spider-Man. And he asked Peter, how do you know her? And he said, oh, the same, through Spider-Man, basically. He said the same. and then they go and they part their ways or whatever. They say a few words to each other and part their ways. But then let you know that Happy knows Spider-Man. He knows he's close to Spider-Man, close enough to meet May through Spider-Man. But the way the spell is working, this is my logic of how the spell works. Like, if I was to go up to Happy and say, "Oh, you know May Parker, right? Yeah. How you met her? Through Spider-Man. Oh, so how does Spider-Man know her?" It's gonna be a blank. Peter Parker is not gonna be that. Oh,
Yeah.
he's not gonna remember anything like that. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the part that goes blank in his mind.
Yeah.
Anything that questioning about Peter is gonna be blank. He's not gonna remember any of that. He's gonna remember he was in London with Spider-Man helping him fight Mysterio, but he's not gonna remember Peter is the guy that he was helping. He's not gonna remember anything about Peter. That's all it is. It's the same thing with the Avengers. The Avengers are gonna remember Spider-Man, and they're just not gonna remember Peter Parker under the mask. You know what I mean? So that's the breaking down for people who's being confused about the spell. The spell makes you forget who Peter Parker is. It doesn't make you forget who Spider-Man is. And then so now we go back to that what you were talking about. I'm sorry, I know we what you were saying about the spell, Fresh Prince. Did you hear me? Oh, there it is. There it is.
He had a good hour and a half.
I guess there's too much dialogue. But how do you feel about the spell, Fresh?
I didn't mind the spell. I just think that it was kind of like, damn, bro, like nobody's gonna remember this dude. Like he's gonna just be just alone again. Like
That's fucking lonely life.
But like piggybacking on what you said earlier about him, Peter Parker and Spider-Man characters is all about loss. They're just this is on brand. Like he's gonna lose. He loses everything. He loses Aunt May. His version of Uncle Ben, which we still don't really understand how he died. His actual parents, and then you're looking at him losing, not really losing, but like losing those memories. Or he doesn't lose the memories, but his friends do. Like he doesn't have the same friendship with Ned, the same as Zendaya, MJ. Even if he goes in and say, "Hey, listen, there was something that happened. There was a spell, and you guys, we wiped your mind, whatever. That's still not going to change the fact. Like she's not going to remember that shit all of a sudden.
Yeah.
And I think that, fast forward, I think that the multiverse of madness is probably going to fix some of that. I think what he did, I think some of the spells he did, it was like ramifications on what is happening after next. For what I'm reading online is that this was just an appetizer of cameos that multiverse of madness is going to be. Like we're going to get beyond multiversal shit. So
yeah.
But I hope so. Ooh. Woo. So for Fresh Prince, I was asking you what the thoughts that you were saying about the memory thing earlier. What was to repeat that so we could talk about it?
No. Well, I was just basically I think going into Flash, right? We were talking about Flash. You still want to talk about that, or
Yeah,
that's what I was leading into with it. Okay. So basically, being that they all still remember Spider-Man, just like you said.
Yeah.
So all of these situations that they've been through on vacation at school and all of that shit, they're gonna remember all of that. I don't know what's going on. Flash wrote a book. I don't know how the spell and all that is going with literature and shit. So I guess we'll wait for that. But at the end of the day, he pretty much wrote a book about all of the shit that they've been through. Now, it's probably not gonna have Peter's name in it, but now it's gonna make it look like, oh, he's Spider-Man's best friend or whatever. They might just pull a what do you call this dude? Eddie Brock, you know what I'm saying, in a way, and find a way to pull his card about being Spider-Man's best friend or whatever, just like they was messing with him in this one. I think if they do it that way and bring in the symbiote with it, we could still get a good symbiote Black Suit Venom storyline with this Tom Holland in the MCU.
Yeah, it makes sense. I can't knock it. Uh, what I was leading to with the Ned leaks now, right? So now that they mind wipe Ned, right? Ned don't have the history he has with Peter, and Ned is now going to MIT. MIT, that's a technical school where Tony Stark went to, where you can start learning how to fix some shit and stuff like that. So we may get a future Hobgoblin out of Ned.
I hope so.
We may get a future Hobgoblin out because I this is why I feel. I don't feel like they're gonna find a new leading woman. I think they're gonna even though Peter for now when he met MJ and Ned in the coffee shop, and then he saw that his friends were happy, they were in school, and then more importantly, he saw that MJ was hurt, the bandage on MJ head from her battle when she was there with the battle, and that she got hurt. He chose to like not to engage with her because for her safety, like he don't want to see her get hurt again. So he chose to just love her from a distance and love her up close.
And if you remember, she still was wearing the Black Dahlia.
Yeah.
Right.
So there's gonna be
yeah.
there's gonna be voids in her memory. I think that the voids will still be there, and then something's gonna happen where it might just click.
Somebody's gonna ask her like, "Oh, where you got that necklace from?" And she's not gonna remember.
She's not gonna remember.
Yeah,
I don't remember.
I was screaming that shit at the end of the movie. Just ask her where she got it from.
Yeah. But I feel like his explanation, like if we was in like any other Spider-Man universe, like Andrew Garfield or Tobey Maguire, it may have been harder to explain, like why she won't remember somebody. But in this universe, with all the magic and all the crazy shit that goes on, if somebody came up to me and told me like, "Hey, I'm your best friend, but I made you forget for your safety and whatever like that. I used the magic." I can't say, "Oh, nigga, you crazy. Get the hell away from me." I can't say that in that universe. You clearly see aliens and magic and all kinds of crazy shit happening every day. So it's like, in that universe, you could be like, "Yo, damn, maybe he's telling the truth."
Yeah.
But I think what's gonna happen, because if you look at the pictures, Ned is always with MJ. I think Ned is gonna develop feelings for MJ. Peter's gonna come and he's gonna try and get MJ back. And that's gonna harbor some ill will with Ned. And I think Ned is gonna go hobgoblin on Peter because of it.
Well, what's is gonna be cool, which I hope that this happens, with the whole Disney Plus show of Ironheart, she's in MIT.
Mm-hmm.
So we might get a crossover of Ned being, a classmate with her in MIT.
Mm.
And she and Ironheart is gonna be in the new Black Panther movie. So that's gonna be her first appearance of that movie.
I don't know about this Black Panther movie, bro.
You heard about his brother saying they should have recast?
Because it's the truth.
Yeah, we've been screaming that shit for years.
It's the truth.
And a half.
And now it took the family members to come out and said, "Chadwick wants you to recast." Like, you should have been recasted before y'all even filmed the movie. You should have recast it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, give it a break. Push back the release date, and figure out what you want to do.
Scrap the story. Make a new story. If you feel like you can't rearrange the story because you wrote it for Chadwick and you feel like it's not gonna fit anybody, make a new story, bro.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. My bad for bringing up Black Panther. I know that's a that shit is infamous.
It was going so good. I was having a good day. But nah, I feel like that's what Ned made. This gives the window for Ned to go into Hobgoblin Rogue if they choose to. Because they may not choose to.
Or he could be,
even though they hinted it.
He could be a wizard.
He could be a wizard too.
He could be a wizard.
Well, Ned's Hobgoblin did have powers. did have magical powers in the comics.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was like a student or follower of Dormammu in the comics.
Oh!
This
He
makes
said, I'm here. He's like, I'm here all week, baby. Come to me for your
Basically,
knowledge.
you know.
now the stars align because now if he start getting into this magic shit, he's gonna want to know about other things, and he's gonna probably try to. If he finds out that something happened where he lost his memory, some shit, he's gonna try to want to get that shit back.
What if they flip it, right? What if they flip it? But because they don't use Dormammu. What if they use Baron Mordo if he doesn't die in Doctor Strange too?
Yeah, let Mordo
And
recruit him.
he trains Ned as an apprentice.
I think that Mordo in the Mordo with the dreads is not our Mordo.
No, it's not.
I figured that. I don't think that Mordo would do a whole complete like look change like that.
Yeah, so I think we can use our Mordo to scoop up Ned, let that be his little apprentice. You know what I'm saying? I'll make an exception for you, and I need help taking down the rest of these sorcerers.
I think this Mordo is actually somewhat on Doctor Strange's side versus the other one
Yeah.
because in this one is three Doctor Stranges is Sorcerer Supreme. There's Doctor Strange that we know. Then there's gonna be Defender Strange, and Defender Strange they already leaked the toys. He's a thing. That's gonna be fucking sick. Then you have America Chavez, she's like a multiversal fucking character. She jumps in different timelines.
Mm-hmm.
So it's gonna be fucking dope, bro. I can't fucking wait.
Yeah, the Illuminati is supposed to be in it. I think that's who that Mordo is. It's the Mordo from the Illuminati.
Because from what they said is that they're doing reshoots, and these reshoots were very extensive, but these reshoots were for cameos they couldn't get during the regular shoot, and these cameos are from like characters that are in a different universe or played by different actors that were supposedly get cast, and they turned down the role. So supposedly we might have fucking Tom Cruise as fucking Iron Man, John Krasinski as fucking Captain America.
Cap.
Oh,
so
who's the guy that keep putting us Reed Richards on these fan sites and stuff? The guy from The Office, right? Isn't that the guy from The Office that put him? Like,
From The Office?
Yeah.
John Krasinski was gonna.
Krasinski.
He was.
I'm gonna see if I can find it. Every time I look, like they do like a fan picture of like
it's a fan casting.
They use him they use him as Reed Richards.
Him and his wife they use as
everybody wants.
It makes sense, but I think that they're gonna get characters that went for the role, either didn't get it, and they're gonna play off that. So we're gonna get Iron Man, we're gonna get a different Captain America, we're gonna get all these different things. I think it's gonna look like the What If episode.
Yeah,
I can see Emily Blunt playing the Sue Storm though. I ain't gonna be mad at that. Emily Blunt as Sue Storm.
I'm with that too.
Yeah, man. Well, did we get to the end of this movie? No, we up to the.
Yeah, we talked about that, and then we could do.
We didn't do the web slinging part, which it's one of my favorite scenes. But you could tell he was struggling, like he was, he was looking like fucking the Avengers game Spider-Man versus fucking that shit was looking terrible, bro. Because he wasn't
looking like Spider-Man 5. He was looking like Spider-Man with just doing it. Remember the old school Spider-Man West Swing when it's like struggling?
I'm like, yo, we got Tom Holland, right, in 5 different projects, right? And out of all those projects, we didn't get any fucking web sling, right? We got him and evasive maneuver.
We got action web swinging. We just didn't get no like transition web swinging
like the city, like what we got in this movie at the very last 10 seconds of the movie. We got it.
And we got web swinging with him trying to move, him going around with MJ. That's about it.
Yeah. But this was beautiful. I love the way it ended because it ended in a unconventional Marvel way where it's like it's sad. There's no happy ending.
It really isn't.
It ended like, oh man, like even if he decides not to come back, it's like fuck. Like what happens? They gave him the classic suit. If we get a new trilogy, I'm gonna need to see that suit for more than 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Because these motherfuckers like cycling through different fucking suits because I know they gotta sell toys. But I'm gonna need to see this suit for a very long time.
I think this suit is gonna. The reason why I think this suit is gonna hold true, for one is his classic. Is his Spider-Man suit from the comic books? Is his classic suit. Two, he doesn't have the access to Stark Tech anymore to have different suits now, so he has to stick with this one suit.
Yeah, nothing remembers him.
Yeah.
His AI was like, excuse me?
Who?
Well, I mean, the government confiscated it, so he don't even have it no more. They took Edith.
Yeah,
when they raided his shit, they took Edith.
But I think his mask itself had like a heads up display, which they didn't really show. They only show that like in the first movie where it cycled through the different things he had, like web shooters, kill mode, and all that shit. Like I don't think he had that. I think he lost that ability the moment he wiped his existence.
So I
dig it though. I dig it, man, because it's like they kind of soft rebooted the whole situation without rebooting it. You know what I'm saying? You basically cycle through all of that to give us a 3-movie origin story, just to put them back exactly where everybody wanted them anyway. So it's like everybody that complained about everything and whatever, like he's right back to exactly where y'all wanted them to be. Like exactly that, and that's my problem with a lot of these things too. Is like people can't just let a story breathe. Let this shit go through the whole thing before you start trashing it. But it's like, yeah, I like them doing that. And like you said, now we got the suit. We got the chance for him to be in New York and actually web sling through the buildings in the city. So you know what I mean, my man, hopefully they bring my man back, asking for the rent, you know what I'm saying? Hopefully they bring him back as the landlord. But
I pray they bring him back. Rent?
Word up. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, we got all of these little things that we can do now.
Did you notice where he moved?
It looked like the same apartment.
Building?
No, he moved right there in Rockefeller Center. You can see the fucking tree.
Yeah.
So that whole Hawkeye shit that happened, he was there.
Crazy.
Like, first of all, where did you find the money to live there, Peter? Because I need answers, bro. Like, bro.
Listen, my man,
bro,
bad
that apartment
for a few minutes.
That apartment must be like $5,000. That must be like $5,000 a month, yo. As shitty as that apartment look, bro. Like, yo, just the location of that apartment.
But what's gonna be dope about the next trilogy is like you're not gonna have any kind of like loose ends.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's gonna be a him story, right? You may get the hints of Ned and MJ, but it's gonna be like a him story, like him dealing with the struggles of him becoming a young adult in college, being broke, not having anybody to turn to, and him. It's gonna be a somber like fucking the fourth movie.
Him dealing with the loss too, because he still hasn't like. I don't know how far off they're gonna make the new trilogy where it's gonna start off at. I don't know how far what the point they're gonna start off at, but he still hasn't dealt with that loss yet. And Aunt May loss is fresh.
It's fresh.
Like, he right after he lost it, he had to go fight these villains. Like he couldn't even process the loss that he has right now. Like he doesn't have a backbone right now. Like she was his backbone.
They said that his camp, because the new contract was for one movie and one cameo, and then they had to renegotiate, which that hasn't happened yet. But they are planning to do that. They want to keep on making movies of Marvel, but they said that his cameo is already in the can. So I'm assuming that it's probably Doctor Strange. Yeah.
Listen, if you don't want to do it, Garfield's over here. Like, I'll be Spider-Man.
Word up. Let me get
Andrew
that.
Garfield's like, yo, I'll be Spider-Man. My man ain't playing, bro. Bro, like, vehemently said he wants to be Spider-Man again, bro. Oh, this breaking. I was wondering what the hell I was kicking over there. Yeah, he said he wants to be Spider-Man again. He said, yo, I'll do a Spider-Man movie right now. He even had his agents reaching out to Sony and stuff like that to do a new Spider-Man movie. So he wants to do it. And now's the perfect time. Now with this movie, bringing the rejuvenance into the Spider-Man franchise, do it. Let him do the movie. It's going to be a lot better than that freaking Carnage movie you just did. That last Venom Carnage movie you did.
Oh yeah.
I say do it. This way you can introduce black. You have so many villains that they haven't, villains and heroes that they haven't used in Spider-Man universe. You still could use Miles Morales. You still could use Black Cat. I'm about to say Shadow Cat. That's X-Men. You still could use Black Cat.
Sable.
Yeah, we haven't seen Shocker. We haven't seen there's a bunch of them. Hydro Man, Craven. Even though they said Craven, they had a silhouette of Craven. Looked like Craven was going to cross over in when he was doing the spell.
Yeah,
Craven's like silhouette was in one of the portal things that was crossing over.
It was Craven, Rhino, and Scorpion.
And they said they saw another tentacles too, like another version of Doc Ock was coming through or something.
It could have been a big fuck show had he not fixed that fucking spell.
Mm-hmm.
So what we off to now? We are at the post credit scene, which was Eddie Brock. And so I guess Eddie Brock, he's at a bar. It's just right after Venom 2, where he gets kind of like warped into this new fucking resort area. So I guess within
he's in Mexico. Yeah.
He's in Mexico, and I guess the bartender, which is cool because the bartender is from Ted Lasso, which is one of my favorite shows. I guess he tells him the whole entire MCU within the whole, like, him being the bartender and shit like that. And he's like, for real?
Can I say they dropped the ball by not letting Luis be the one explaining the story, bro?
That would have been hilarious.
To have him do the rundown of everything that's been going on, bro, that would have been a killer.
That would have been that's a fucking missed opportunity because he couldn't have not been a bartender. He could have just been someone that was in the same resort as him.
Mm-hmm. That would explain why he missed the whole action that was going on because Luis' story goes on forever.
Luis talking that long ass story, yeah, he missed the whole movie, bro. That shit would have been perfect.
So now, I'm mad.
He said, "Now I'm mad."
Yo,
now I'm mad.
That was a missed opportunity, and I'm pretty sure
big miss out.
And I'm pretty sure that Michael Pena would have been down to do that fucking part.
Yeah.
And for those also people who didn't understand why Venom was there, why Venom popped up, Venom knows who Peter Parker is because the Venom symbiote from Eddie Brock's Venom symbiote said that there are multiversal hive mind. So the symbiote, whatever one symbiote knows in one universe, all of them knows in all the universes. So the symbiote knows from Tobey Maguire universe that he's Peter Parker. So that's how Venom knows. Tom Hardy's Venom knows who Peter Parker is and about Spider-Man. And that's why when he saw Spider-Man, he wanted to go fight him in the end of Venom Let There Be Carnage trailer because he knows who he is.
This makes me very excited about Thor: Love and Thunder.
Yeah,
about that main villain. Because if he's rocking that Necro sword,
yep,
that's a whole
shit about to get crazy.
That's the shit that fucking beheaded a fucking Celestial, bro. Like that shit is like no fucking joke. Like, how do you go against him?
They don't need that sword for the Eternals.
They're gonna need that sword for fucking Galactus if he ever makes his way. Because how do you defeat Galactus if he shows up?
Oh, you don't. You give him a new planet to eat. You don't. That's the only way. That's the only way anybody has ever been defeated him. They give him a new planet to eat. They find something that's not
Make a deal.
uninhabitable or something, or some planet that's like way corrupted or something. They'll move him on to the next planet. That's about it. Galactus, you can't stop him.
I ain't gonna hold you, man. John Watts did a fucking amazing job with this movie. When I heard he got tapped to do the Fantastic Four, I'm like, oh, maybe I don't know, because Far From Home was not really like big scale like that. Nah, after watching this movie, man, I totally, I'm for it.
And that's and the fact that it was team fighting too, so it shows you that he can have different pieces working together for a whole overall story.
Yeah, like 10 something pieces, bro.
Man, pieces. Yeah,
and it makes sense because there was always a thing like when a movie added too many characters, like, oh, somebody's gonna suffer. Like, Spider-Man 3, him having 3 different villains, that movie suffered. So when you hear about all these villains, you're like, nah, this movie's gonna be bad. Now, man, everyone had a time to shine. The only person that didn't really have a time to shine like that, I didn't really care about Lizard, Sandman. So if you notice, the Sandman, all the scenes when he turned back into a human, those are all scenes from Spider-Man 3.
Yeah.
And it, to show with the hand, they reversed it so it looks like he's getting his hand back versus losing his hand.
Wasn't Lizards too?
Lizards too, yep.
That's why they kept it so quick.
My man Lizard is always naked. Everywhere he goes, he's always butt naked, white pasty. Like,
Crazy.
Pizza.
My man didn't even have his lab coat today, man. What happened?
He didn't have his lab coat, bro. So going back into that post credit scene or mid credit scene, so he ends up fucking with the spell. He goes back to his universe and leaves a little bit of his symbiotes. What's we call it? Symbiotes?
Symbiote.
Something like that. And so that just kind of like, progresses the storyline. Like, we're gonna have, a version of Venom in the MCU that's not gonna be Tom Hardy's, which I think is kind of like fucked up. Like, you bring him to the universe and leave.
It could still be Tom Hardy, just a different Tom Hardy than the other Venom universe.
Right.
So I could think right now, because Tom Hardy voices Venom's voice, right? In the movie. Just imagine if
Does he?
Yeah, he does. He does all the voice.
Yeah.
So think about Tom Holland having to do that. That would be fucking hilarious. Like, not like that, because he doesn't morph into no monster. He's just like a heightened version of himself.
Mm-hmm.
So we'd be happy to eat, Mrs. Chen. Yeah, the Venom symbiote never really talked to him. It just was there, and he using the powers, and he was getting a little angry and vengeful, and he didn't know why until he figured out it was the suit that was making him like angry and shit.
Well, this right now would be the perfect time to use him as a host.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh yeah. This one where he's all that anger and rage and hurt that's going through him right now. A symbiote would love that shit.
Yeah.
But you know what's funny? Even though they have symbiotes as Spider-Man's villains, the symbiote in a totality is not a villain. What it does, it just takes whatever the host has, and it
amplifies it.
It amplifies it, yeah, basically. So like if you're evil, the symbiote that attaches to you is gonna turn out and do evil shit with you. But in actuality, the symbiote itself is not evil.
Yeah.
In case people don't know that, like, yeah, I find that very fascinating about this because I thought Venom was the villain the whole time, and no, he just takes Eddie Brock's rage and anger towards Spider-Man and amplifies it because he was feeling hurt being rejected by Spider-Man too. So that's why he leaned more towards Eddie Brock, and they combined together to go after Spider-Man, which is why he always says we instead of I.
We lost him again.
Yeah,
I'm about to wrap up, anyways.
yeah. Real quick too, another thing to touch up on. People was talking about they don't know how this guy got his body back. Electro. I felt like this is how I viewed it. When he first came to the thing, he was the Blue Lightning, but he said the energy source on this universe is different. So I think when he absorbed the energy from this universe, it gave him his body back,
Yeah.
rather than like on Andrew Garfield universe where it took his body away. This universe electricity gave him back his body. That's the way I view it.
Or it could be taking a version of himself that was already in the MCU. Because maybe there was a Max still in the MCU already that we just had never met. That wasn't Electro, just had that form. Who
But
knows? My man's line was fire.
no, but they certified that it was the same Electro from this guy's universe, Garfield, because
No, I know that. I'm just saying, like, maybe he just took the form of the person that was already here. Like, there's different versions of Max, but that the actual villain came from Andrew, but he took the form of the one that we have here. Possibly.
I guess. Oh, we doing body snatch? Oh,
Yeah, maybe because that's a big difference, man. My man had no comb over, his teeth was perfect. That's a big change. Even if energy did that to you.
yeah. I think they just wanted to retcon the villain. I mean, they should have found some way to explain it though. They wanted to give him a new look. But I'm not complaining. That new look looked way better than the fucking look he had in Amazing Spider-Man 2, though. And I like the little mask was made out of electricity. It wasn't like a little freaking mask on his face. So I give it props. Basically wrap this up. I'm gonna give the rating that I give this movie. For me, is a 5 out of 5. I love the movie.
5 out of 5 for me, bro. No questions.
I'm definitely gonna find time and watch it again when I get the chance.
Word.
Yeah, definitely 5 out of 5.
You have any thoughts, Fresh Prince?
I mean, we pretty much went through everything. I just hope going forward, you know what I'm saying? Even though I know Spider-Man's a marquee, so they're gonna want to get the trilogies out of the way and all that. But like, honestly, I want them to keep him like street level for a minute. Like, let him rock with Daredevil. He has no other father figures or mentors in his life right now. You know what I'm saying? He needs to learn how to do things right on his own right now. But at the same time, he needs somebody to guide him through that as well. So that's what I really wanted. Hopefully we can get that, but I doubt it. Probably just gonna keep getting bigger and bigger with it. But other than that, I totally enjoyed the movie. Loved all the callbacks, all the references, and yeah, I had a great time. So with my son, we both enjoyed it. So that's another experience on top of that. So yeah, 5 out of 5.
They already got the pre-order up on Best Buy for the Steelbook. That's
Wow.
that's just gonna fly off the shelves.
Hell yeah, I gotta get that shit.
Yep, it just came up. Today. I don't know if you guys can see that.
I see it.
So I'm gonna have to look into that right now. So let me get off there.
The nigga's about to go shopping.
Word.
All right, so team, we're gonna wrap it up here. We gave you like 3 hours. Or roughly that. I think roughly 3 hours, so nobody should be complaining about quantity. All right, so Fresh Prince, where can people find you?
Fresh Prince of BK, pretty much everywhere. Yeah, YouTube channel, little edit videos. Y'all could go check that out. Y'all like, subscribe if y'all feel it. Other than that, yeah, same thing everywhere.
All right, Fresh, where people find? People know where they can find you, but where can they find you?
If you find me on here, bro, that's it. You find me on Untitled Entertainment, man. That's it. This is what I do.
Facts. Same. You can find me here and also YouTube. No, not YouTube. I say YouTube. Why I say YouTube? Twitch, on Ninja Red Nasty. Even though I haven't streamed in a while, I think I'm gonna start that back up because I haven't streamed in a while. But Ninja Red Nasty on Twitch, and also Red Socialite on Instagram. All right, that's it. Oh wait, sorry. Like, subscribe. If you're feeling this, like, subscribe. Hit us with a message. Hit us with chats. We read that. Checked out the merch store. Buy some merchandise. You know, we got some cool stuff in there.
Word. Oh, also before we wrap it up, happy birthday to Soul Brick, man. Today's his birthday.
Oh yeah, happy birthday, Soul Brick.
Happy birthday, brother.
Yeah, he was supposed to be on the show, but he was having
Technical
he
difficulties.
was having difficulties.
It's called karma, bro. He was making fun of my internet last time, bro. I'm here, unwatchable.
Mm-hmm.
I might as well take a quick minute to throw a happy birthday shout out to my son too. It's his birthday, so he'll probably end up watching this when y'all pull it up there. So shout out to you, Boba. I love you, Baba.
All right, happy birthday, champ.
Bing bong. All right, yo, peace out.
Peace.